Hey, welcome to Whiskey, Magic, and Destruction on the Games Tavern. We're so glad you could be here today. If there's anything we can do for you, ask us in chat. We'll see what we can do. Anyway, we're probably not going to do any major favors, but, we might do a shout out if you're really cool and, you support us.
Don't know if you don't ask.
If you don't know who we are, we're a bunch of nerdy types, analysts, engineers, performers, programmers, nerds, and we play D&D every week on Thursday right here on the Games Tavern. Please hit that follow button. If you're checking us out on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. Both are free and it supports the cast and crew. Leave a review, say things to your friends, tell other people about us. It helps other people find us too. Let's see here. Let's get to our brief announcement and then let's kick off this show tonight.
Sure. Hey, did you know that once we hit 25 viewers, we're going to do a giveaway? Woo! Our friends over at 1985 Games are going to be helping us give away a mystery dice set. So be sure to type !epic once we do have those 25 viewers and once the raffle is live. You must be a resident of the US or Canada, excluding Quebec. They know what they did. You must also be a follower to enter. So we'll continue to take entries throughout the game. Then at the end of the game, we'll pull a name out of the proverbial hat. And be sure to let you stay in chat so that way our tech gremlins, goblins, whoever they might be, can reach out to you and get your information.
I love hats.
I love lamp.
Okay, so where we last left off, what do you guys remember? That's okay. I'll tell you anyway.
Well, thank you.
Where we last left off, the party had started their day. It started with a little bit of sparring as the party attempted to teach each other some cool stuff. Well, more importantly, Garlo and Sim were working together so that Sim could be more lethal in hand-to-hand. Discovering the joys of a longsword from Vale. Vale brought a chicken in as a study aid. No further discussion. The Badger ate said chicken. No further discussion. And they went through the books of the Waterclock Guild. In the course of doing that, they made several discoveries about math, elementals, summoning circles, circles of protection, and a few other things about arcane equations, amongst many things they could not discern at this time. As they continued through that, a variety of other conversations took place. The party had decided to split up and went three different places. One group, which was who, went to the Red Vellum.
Yes.
Lucy and Sam. Another group went to the Temple of Celeborn.
That's Team Short Tall.
Short Tall.
Team Short Tall. Cool kids. We did Red Vellum.
And the other team went where?
Temple of Ogma.
The Temple
Indeed.
of Ogma.
Nerds.
Where they saw, upon walking in, a variety of very senior Waterclock Guild members having a hurried conversation with the head of the Temple of Ogma, along with a member of the City Watch or City Guard. Was it City Watch or City Guard? I forget.
City Watch.
Someone from Johnny Law was there. And it seemed to be a heated discussion of some sort, or frantic discussion of some sort. Realizing that it would probably be a bad idea to ask for help to read in Primordial, which was the key script and coding that was in the books, they decided to go amongst themselves and go into the library, searching it to discover what could possibly be in there, which gave them a little bit of the translations that they were able to discover and uncover. Challenges therein were still found. As they got out by the hair on their chinny chin chin, they noticed a few other knights of the same type that Vale is, leaving the library, obviously on a mission. Concerned that they may be the recipients of said mission by holding the books, they were smart enough to at least put the books in their bags of hold, to at least have it on another extra-dimensional portal to hopefully throw off some divination magics if they were being used. From there, the team set out and came back together. Where? Not all at once, guys.
Oh.
Where?
Back at WMD.
Back at West Mercantile Diversified's villa, where you have decided to do what?
Sneak
Give
into
up
the
this
graveyard.
life of crime. Oh, sorry.
I love how everybody does not have the same plan.
Right.
This is perfect. This sounds like WMD at its best. So, in 3 minutes or less, what is your plan now?
Oh God.
The rain continues to fall. You're
Who's flipping
standing
the
outside the
hourglass?
front door.
Sneak into the graveyard during the day while the graveyard's still open, and then hide in the shed until after closing time.
That's what I'm talking about. Succinct.
Yeah.
That is your plan?
Yeah.
Yep. Garlo was going to pay a couple folks just to run in and out of exits, just because they have a running tally of how many people come in and out.
Hoping to mess up their count a little bit more?
Just throwing off the counts.
I like it.
So, how are you intending to find said people?
We're walking on the street, right?
Oh, no.
Sure.
We got a guy.
Oh, we do have a guy.
We do have a
You have a
guy.
guy.
And he just walked in the front gate. Hello!
Hi.
Oh,
What's on the docket today?
sorry. I thought the guy was Terry. I got really
Yeah, so did
excited. Yeah, Rankin's also good, I guess.
I'm sorry, did I miss something?
No,
Great,
actually, I need a favor, to go down to the pub and grab a couple of the guys, and, give them a gold piece each for just running in and out of the graveyards all day.
Do they need to go in and out of the same entrance?
Mix it up, go back and forth, just, hit it a couple times.
Just a
We're
couple?
trying to just have a run. They could go in one, out the other, and then back around, do a couple circuits. We're just trying to throw off a couple of people that might be counting heads.
Sounds good. How many bodies you want to do that?
Let's go with, let's say 25.
25 bodies.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. You have 25 gold?
I've got 30 gold, because I believe there should be some finder's fee, and for making sure that they do more than just one circuit, okay?
You are absolutely kinder than I could ever expect.
30 gold.
Thank you
fee.
so much. Well, he grabs his suspenders for a moment. I have some work to do. When would you like them to start? Give me a reasonable time to find them all. 25 people is quite a match.
Let's say, what time is it about right now? Out of character.
10 in the morning.
10 a.m. Starting at noon, and then, we're trying to get there at night, so we don't need to be there sitting at noon through till nightfall. So what? Let's say starting at 4:30. Oh, I was gonna say 4:30, and
4:30?
then going until closing.
Too easy. We can get this done. No problem at all. Absolutely outstanding. Why, you've given me plenty of time, actually, and I thank you for it.
Like here.
Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
No.
All right, well, I'll be on my way. Should you need anything, just let anybody who looks a little bit raggedy know you need to see me.
Rankin, when you're done, Gherkin will have something for you.
Very well indeed. So come back here when we're done.
Please.
Outstanding. I shall knock on the door on completion of your requirements. Thank you very much. I shall be on my way then. I'll get this done splendiferously.
Fancy word.
Thank you.
Ha! And you see him kind of like get to the gate, close the gate, do a little hop, and he immediately counts out like 5 gold coins, put them in a separate purse, hides the other one because walking around with that much gold in his life is probably a good way to get mugged, and he moves away to the west to go seek out the types of bodies that you're looking for.
bodies with pulses. That, to be clear, that's what we need. Is bodies,
Yes.
bodies with pulses.
Yes.
to do
I
circuits.
don't think he's a
Hold on.
necromancer. At
Let's
least
see
not
what
right
he can
now.
do. Let's not give him any. Let's see what he does.
Having dead
Let-
bodies coming in
let
out
him
of the
cook.
graveyard would certainly be distracting.
That's where they went.
Let the man cook. All right. Outside of that, then I think the only other thing was if we wanted to split off when we make our way in, just so we're not one big group heading in all at once. We can all head there at the same time, but just so we're not.
Before
big
we run
group.
off, I am actually going to pull Gherkin aside and say, Gherkin, if you hear that there was no trouble at the graveyard, pay the man a 2 gold bonus, and there's a lute up in my room, musical instrument lute. He can have that as well.
You're not expecting not to come back or something, are you?
Well, he could be apprehended by the guards, or we could be apprehended by the guards. Either way, who knows?
So he gets a
Be the
loot.
first time.
Yes.
I
Yes,
sort
it
of blink at Wraith and say, why a loot?
Well, because I've been carrying it since Tribor, and I don't play the lute.
Not going to
Fair
be
enough.
serenaded by your holding the loot anymore.
Wait,
oh,
you
terrible.
You bought a loot in tribal.
Oh, no. We found it in, what was the name of that town? The one that was completely destroyed by the giants?
Oh, South.
Sausage, yes.
Oh, okay. Very
You
well.
found a loot? I'm like, wait a minute.
Go ahead.
While he walks over to Gherkin, I go over to Terry. Say, Terry, very important. Need you
Yes,
to
sir.
start packing lunches right now. Just as many as you can, just into bags and tie them up into like neckerchiefs if we need. We've got some hankies. I pull out some we got from the heist, like sandwiches, lunch meats, as much protein as you can get. Cheese is also good. I just need. We might be hunkered down for a bit.
He looks confused. Do you want these lunches to stay like fresh for a while, or do you just need them for the day? Or, and then Gherkin kind of gives him an elbow. He's like, "It's in case they have to make a break for it."
That's much smarter. Honestly, I was just worried I was going to get hungry in the shed. So that's probably better thinking.
You need lunches for the shed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to be in there for a bit.
You're going to be gardening out in the backyard.
Maybe.
We're going to be there for a day, Garlo, not a month.
Right.
I get hungry.
All right. I'll go make the lunches right now. So just like one lunch for each of you, or like 8 lunches for each of you.
One is plenty for me. Garlo can have as many as he likes.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. Got it. 9 lunches, 4 for Garlo, 1 for the rest of you. No problem. Non-cooked, something that doesn't require cooking, I'm assuming. All right, done. And he runs inside. He takes a few moments. You're standing on the front steps. Anything else you wish to do?
I look at the others and I say, I'm going to go read as much of the other book as I can. I only checked the main one, but I want to look up as much as I can before we leave, so I'm going to be in my room.
The one that was taken from the wherever you took it from.
The other clock book that I didn't read first because it looked like the one less likely to have vital information.
You
Which
may want
one,
to
the
keep
Master
that.
Rights of the Water Clock Guild, or the
Yes.
Shablon's Water Clock Making?
Shablon's water clock making.
That's the one you want to read? Okay.
Yes. Just in case.
I don't know if you noticed back at the Temple of Agma, there were a lot of folks that kind of looked like me clunking around there. You may bring down some serious heat if you pull that book out of wherever you have it stored right now, because I'm pretty sure people are actively looking for that.
Can I hear this? Oh, have they walked away?
Not
No, I
exactly.
don't think we have yet, no.
I wanna I think this is like, for better lack of a better word, foreplay. Like, they're like, oh, don't take that book out here. So I'm gonna be like, y'all take that upstairs. Okay, we don't need to see that right here. All right, y'all go upstairs.
I'm sorry, Luciano. What?
And I wink. I'm like, go have fun. And I'm gonna go find a place to sit down and take out a blank journal and start writing some stuff.
Fun. Okay.
I don't know what that's about.
I look at Lucy. I go over and bother Lucy while he's writing, and I'm just like, you have your magic hat, right?
And I kind of like, yep, I think so. And I like just touch the top of my head.
Because if you make yourself look like one of the groundskeepers, I can change my cloak to look kind of like how that one looks, and then we're just some guys who are by the shed. We're not.
Okay, I kind of do
Just
like
suspicious
a,
people.
what is it? I dream of Genie, like a doop, and I like this.
Oh. I try and I like hit my head on the wall. Oh, Nikes.
All right, yeah, this is a good plan. I like it.
I look at Val and then I say, well, then I'm going to read the book you brought me instead. I don't want to. We don't want to bring any of your colleagues down on our heads.
All right. So you crack that book while waiting for lunches to be made. Sitting on the couch. You guys have moved in, so it's not standing out in the rain anymore. What are you looking for in particular? Is there anything in particular you're looking to find out about or try to figure out? Or is it read what I can, figure out what I can?
Read what I can, figure out what I can right now.
What have you figured out so far? Just to kind of summarize real quick, just to make sure you remember.
Essentially that here's like notes and books about, there were notes about the particular spells that he knew and had studied, and also just general notes, and essentially there were notes about the black stone that he showed Turja before Turja left Waterdeep in like episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those are the main things I remember.
Okay. Make a investigation check.
Ooh, dirty 20.
Some things start to snap into focus as you are trying to read through his unique coding, which is similar to what he taught you. In addition to the disc, you find out specifically that there is a monolith involved with some of those things, and it's a series of different shapes that they show. There's long ones with pointy tops. There's some with flat tops. But all of them are straight obelisks that go straight up, smoothly carved, same kind of stone. And there's mentions that somehow that disc acts as a key to potentially unlock something, turn on something. They're still trying to figure that out, possibly. Or you're just not reading through the code enough.
Okay.
There's also reference that the few things that you do know is whatever created it was probably a giant.
Okay.
But it is so ancient that even the giants of today don't know exactly how they work. And then there's a reference of Graven Hollow Library.
Do I know
As
anything
the-
about Graven Hollow?
You do not.
Okay.
You do not. You've never heard of it. But it's supposedly the only known source of an actively working monolith.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's all you get?
Well, that's actually
In
pretty
the
good.
time you
I'll
had
take
allowed.
it.
Boom.
Yeah.
From here, you finish reading. There's a budunk as Terry comes out the door with a number of small wrapped lunches, fresh meats, sausages sliced, ready to go. They can be eaten raw, or not sausages. What are they? Cured meats. Cheeses, various different dried fruits, and a few different breads, all paired together. There you go. It's the best I can do on short notice, but it will last.
Harry, you look at me. You look me in the eyes. You get down here and look at me. Don't you ever sell yourself short. These are perfect.
Here's 4 of them for you, sir.
Yeah. I do the mafia style pat on the face. It's a good boy.
Sir, I do wonder where you put it all. Beefcake,
Giant.
sir. Beefcake. Yes.
Good.
Well, I hope the rest of you find them appealing. Best of luck.
Thank you, Terry.
Sim, quick question if you're okay with it.
Sure.
Would you be okay with bringing your Tressum with us? It doesn't have to go into the portal, but it could just hang out in the graveyard.
Yeah, I guess that's fine. If you won't come with us, and you can fly home afterwards, right?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, I could be okay with that.
If you want, we could pass word over to Rankin, and then he could take them home. after
No,
we're
I don't
done.
trust Rankin.
Okay, never mind.
But I
Alright, visit.
appreciate the thought. We have like a really good connection, Arthad and I, so I think I'll be able just to like look into his soul and he'll know what I mean.
I can ritually cast speak with animals if you wanted that too.
I think we'll be okay. Don't worry about it. We'll be okay. Appreciate
Perfect.
that.
All right. So I think we're ready.
Out the door you go. Thunder rolls in the distance. Lightning crackles through the sky, but never quite strikes the ground as the dark gray skies alight.
I would like to know for the record, we are all carrying flasks of water.
Flasks of water?
Water skins.
Water
Yeah.
skins? Yeah, flasks of water would be small. Water skins would be sizable.
Okay.
Are any of you carrying more than one?
No, I only got one.
2.
Oh god, you're gonna make me look at my inventory.
Yes. Yes, I am.
I am currently carrying 2 water skins.
Outstanding. Looks like you're well watered. Anybody carrying wine skins?
Flask, no wineskin.
Flat, regular
I know.
flask.
I never drink wine.
Flask.
You're just sober, sorry.
Okay. Out the door you go, pulling your cloaks tighter around you to keep the light rain off. And by light rain, it's not a torrential downpour per se, but it's a never-ending rain. And this is like the 4th or 5th day, I think, that it's continued to fall. It's about noon when you step out. Where are you heading?
To the graveyard.
Yeah.
Make our way around there, and then
Making our way.
if we can get a look at either going by the whatever entrance and get a look and see what the workers might be wearing as their cloaks, since they're also working out in this rain.
You already have a good idea because you already dealt with them in the rain.
Okay.
And so you have a pretty good idea what they're wearing. Their cloaks are standard issue, Neverwinter bureaucrat cloaks for hard rain. They're very blue-gray color, and it's the City of Neverwinter's clasp is on them. Not so fancy that they would be like appealing, but not so bad that they won't actually offer protection. You have a number of entrants of choice, including ones at the tower, ones by the Temple of Kellumbor, and others. Is there a particular entrance you're looking for? The one closest to the Waterclock Guild crypts?
Well, I thought we were hiding in the shed, right?
So the one that was straight down and up the little stair step thing, the waist high wall, and then up. Okay, so that's by the Kellumbor Temple entrance. Okay.
Which,
So
if we want, we can split and go in the other entrance because it's all connected, right? The graveyards through them.
They're interconnected from within as well. I mean, you can go in one and then get to the other portions of the Never Death graveyards. Yes, you can. All right. You guys make it through town and reasonable speed, on foot, crossing the bridges, seeing things out. There are kids that are now out playing in the rain. At this point, the parents have gone nuts. They cannot keep their kids in all the time. The kids are out playing in the rain. A few kids are playing ball. Some other kids are just splashing in puddles. Others are playing in mud, much to their parents' disheartenment. There are, however, you notice very quickly, there are some cats that are just not happy right now because no matter where they go, they're soaking wet. And you see a few of the most downtrodden cats crossing the street here and there as you go through. As kids are playing, they spook them out of their hiding spots and away they go. Until you get through the Protector's Enclave and reach the outer gate by the Temple of Kellenborg. You see a number of city guard standing outside. People are counting. They are given warnings, however. You're seeing them given warnings saying, look, there is strangeness going on. If you see something, say something. Do not attempt to stop something yourself. If you see anything out of place, alert the city guard or the clerics of Kellenborg immediately.
My outer robes are currently in my pack. So I'm not in the full vestments of Gaunt.
What are you wearing?
Just the traveling clothes that I normally wear under them.
A bathrobe.
What are you wearing?
A bathrobe.
A bathrobe.
It's absorbing all the water.
I literally wear traveling clothes under the robes all the time.
Okay. From here, you walk in. It's eerily quiet, save for the occasional muttering and cough from a city guardsman that happens to be on the inside of the wall. As you step through, you make your way along the muddy cobblestone areas where mud has started to, push itself out from the cobblestones, or run down from a little bit of erosion here and there. You make your way up, and you see other groups are here too. And then you see the first of what appears to be priests of Kellenborg with a censer that's still lit and smoking with incense as he goes from marker to marker attempting to bless any of the graves that are there. Going up the stairs, you make it to the shed. The shed is locked, the tool shed. It is large, but it is locked. Now, no one's really eyeballing you right now, but there are, 6 of you. You're not exactly a small group.
I'd say Lucy and I both look like we're wearing the cloaks of the workers.
Mm-hmm.
So, Perch, if you want to crack at the door, the rest of you go ahead and take a lap.
Sure. Yeah, I love hanging out.
Take
in
insights, y'all.
graveyards. Yeah, lovely place. And I'm gonna loop my arm through Rafe's and I guess walk around the graveyard.
So,
A lovely
Garlo
rainy stroll.
Vale, what are you doing?
Following Raven Sim at a
Similar.
good distance.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep it to myself. But, so I can still see him.
All right. Without doubling back the way you came in the first place, you explore that part of the graveyard just a wee bit more. Do Lucy and Garlo, are you guys like standing facing outward while Turgis behind you working the lock?
Sure.
Pretty much.
Okay.
I have my cloak up, my hood up for my cloak of Elvenkind. I don't think it'll help much, but I'll take anything I can get.
I turn to Garla. Roshiba. Roger, hurry up. Trying to look like we're just shooting the breeze.
Have I even started yet?
Oh, go for it. Do your first lockpick check.
Whoa.
A lot of rain.
Well, thankfully, you have a plus. Well, you did sleight of hand. I'm sorry, that doesn't count. You have to do the lockpick.
Isn't
Your
that sleight of
tools.
hand?
No, sleight of hand is not that. That is sleight of hand. You're not doing a surreptitious action. You are attempting to pick a lock.
Oh, so what do I roll then? I mean, lockpick
should-
doesn't have a roll per se.
It doesn't?
No.
Um,
I think it's isn't it under your tools?
Yeah, it's a proficiency check, and then if you are proficient, you double your proficiency bonus.
Or if you have expertise.
I have expertise, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, which you do. So your proficiency bonus is already a
You do it.
hefty +3.
Yeah. So isn't it Dex plus proficiency and then expertise?
Mm-hmm.
So that's sleight of hand. That's 4 + 4 + 3 times
Oh.
2.
All right, it's the same number. All right.
Yeah.
Well, in this case, the math adds up. And thankfully, you have a +10 to
Yeah.
that number, which happens to make you have an 11, which also happens to mean that you did pick the simple lock that is used to keep the tool shed closed and locked. Clunk. Lock opens. A loud clunk noise as the bolt slides out of place.
I whisper, "Come on!"
I just
I
take a
climb
good quick
inside.
look around.
Oh, working in this rain sure is a bore.
My foot comes out and kicks Garlo in the leg. Get in here.
So the door's open. What are you doing?
I'm
What's
gonna
your plan,
take
guys?
a couple of the small tools that I had from earlier when I took the guard's tools and said I was gonna put them back, and I have them on my hand now just in case anybody sees me go in. I have a very easy "I'm going to put tools away" excuse.
Okay. Turgia, are you going in the door?
Yes.
Okay, so you go in the door. You open the door to what smells like a dry-ish, musty tool shed. Within there are a whole bunch of shovels, picks. There's even an axe or two here and there, but there's only a few of those. But plenty of picks and shovels, all to the side. There's even a few wheelbarrows and a large wagon hidden away in here. But there's plenty of room to stand around, and but there's no frills. There's no lights in here. There's nothing.
Is there any way? Is there like any sort of back area where we can sort of stand, hiding conspicuously from casual view if somebody comes into the shed, or like maybe like sacks we can hide under or something like that?
No,
We could hide in the wagon, and I'll just
you could.
hank out underneath a blanket or something.
Well, it's not a horse.
No, not
wagon.
like but just like throw a tarp over the top, and we're
Yeah,
just a bunch of
one of
bodies in
you
a
could
wagon.
hide in the wagon. It's big enough to haul a body around. It's narrow.
What if we all just lay on top of each other?
I was gonna say, yeah.
Oh gosh, the human sandwich. That can't possibly go wrong.
I'm
never
going to
know.
hide in the corner and use my cloak of Elvenkind to cover me as best I can, and I
All right. All right. So you nestle into a niche with your cloak of Elvenkind. The two tool shed workers. You guys are standing outside still, just waiting for the rest of your party to get there to wave them in, or?
I think it would be good, Lucy, Rochambeau real quick, see who has to go out and walk. Right. Ah!
Oh!
So basically, if you take like a rake or a shovel and just go past where Sim and Rafe are and just like pass on that the door is open now, and then
Yep.
do your own little circuit
Yeah.
and come back, then I'll
Yeah.
go with
Gonna take something
Okay.
with me. Roll on by. Oh,
Step
good
out
I was able to
and
get these tools
Sim,
out of the tool
Rafe,
shed.
and far behind Vale are rotating back around. They see you.
Oh yeah, I'm like I said, I'm just very, inconspicuous. Oh, it's a good thing I was able to get these tools out, get some work done.
Super
Ah.
inconspicuous. Very natural.
Okay. So you guys go. What do you do now that he said that to you?
Let's go to the shed. It doesn't even more complicated than that, I don't think.
Okay.
Literally, we're just going to walk the same way we've been walking around towards the shed, and then, if no one's looking, into the shed.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Not a stealth check?
Sim wouldn't be looking.
15.
Okay. You don't see anybody looking. In you go. Boop. Vale walks right behind you. Does the same thing, I'm assuming.
Indeed. Perception check as well, or
Please do.
a 20.
Ooh, some hot dice.
You do spot a dapper Daltotten walking along. But it does not appear that he has seen you.
Okay. Well, if he's looking away, then I'll take that opportunity to slip in as well. When the time is right.
All right. Luciano, you're the last one outside.
Well, I do think I got the wrong tool for this here job. I better go back to that shed. And I just kind of, I took a shovel and I think I'm gonna just lean it on my shoulder and mosey on back.
All right.
Just, casually glancing around. I'm not being very careful.
Just mentioning to passersby, man, I'm working so hard.
Yeah. That was a hard minute.
All right. In the door you go. You guys are all standing in a dark tool shed.
Wow, to
The
get
door is
cozy.
unlocked until you lock it.
Is there any way to lock it from the inside?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Or the door.
It is done that way to prevent anyone from being able to lock themselves in on accident and not be able to get out.
Is there any way to jam the lock? Not permanently, just so that
You
somebody
can certainly
outside-
try. Would you like to try?
Yes.
Okay. What are you going to jam it with?
Everybody's in the shed, right?
Yeah.
What is in the shed?
Okay. I'm looking around for some way to bar the door, such that maybe something a stick I can put through two loops, or just some way to something to fill the keyhole with, maybe. Actually, no, the keyhole's on the other side. That won't work.
There's a keyhole on both sides, actually.
I don't want to make it so bad that
Nice.
Thank you, Captain Bear Mode, for all the gifted subs. He fell through the door and dropped his wallet. Oh, thank you so much, Captain Bear Mode. We really appreciate the
Classic.
support.
I
Okay.
can't think of anything.
All right. You might
I
want to
hand,
go ahead.
I hand you a couple coppers. Here, stack these together. You can put them in the jam. That'll help keep the door shut.
Alright. I'll try that. Does that work, Reed?
Make a sleight of hand check again.
My favorite.
Holy shnikes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
Look
you might
at
want to
this
refresh this
ridiculousness.
window.
I'm gonna use my
there.
D4 inspiration.
Oh no,
No?
you don't need to. It locks. It locks
Okay.
up good.
Well, then I guess it's good I'm using up these bad rolls now.
Yeah. It seems to be jammed. All right. And you're chilling out in the dark as this rain pours around. You hear the rain pouring off the roof, and then about an hour later, you hear something trying to undo the bolt on the lock. And you hear, God damn it.
Tell everybody else to hide.
You hear another voice say, I'm sick of getting whacked. Yeah, me too, man. This sucks. Look, let's just leave the shovels here tonight and we can get the locksmith in the morning. Yeah. I could use a drink down over at the pub. How about you? Yeah, man, let's do it. You hear a thunk thunk against the wall. And that's it.
Does this shed have windows at all?
None.
So I light my little candle. This little light of mine.
The ever burning candle? You don't light it. You just take it out. Boonk. It's lit.
Can the
I just put
ever-burning
it on.
candle light other fires?
No.
Oh, damn it.
That is the other
Just-
key. It is not warm. It will not set anything on fire. It just creates light.
It's just an LED bulb. I just stick it on the wagon just so it's lighting up a part of the room. If people want to get by it.
Okay.
Sim, how you looking? Are you cool in the graveyard in the shed?
I've looked more uncomfortable probably actually at our headquarters. It's tight, it's cozy, and don't get me wrong, it's not like I'm jazzed to be here with a bunch of dead people. But yeah, I'm just kind of like hanging out, daydreaming, doing my own thing.
Sim, behind the scenes, you have spent a lot of time in some very dark places.
It's fair.
This is almost a happy place. It is a familiar place for you.
Yes, that would be accurate.
Yeah.
I asked him if she wants to try something to maybe take her mind off of it.
What do you have in mind? A game?
Kind of, more so like a memento. I know people sometimes get tattoos to like commemorate things and whatnot, and you, me, and Lucy do a lot of fun shenanigans and whatnot. So
Yeah?
I was thinking maybe instead of a tattoo, I've got my wood carver's tools.
Yeah?
I could maybe carve something into your, and then we can get tattoos afterwards.
Yeah? Oh, yeah! Yeah, okay! No repercussions of this whatsoever. I think this is the best impulsive decision I've ever made.
All right. So from here, what happens next?
I'm
Okay.
middling.
I was gonna say, I guess we get cozy and like my
Okay.
arm's probably up on your lap. And I don't know, do I need to do a pain tolerance check to see if this is chill or not?
So what, are you making her a tattoo?
Yes!
Essentially, I'm carving into
Into
the
her arm.
bark.
Are you signing her cast with a knife?
Well, it's not a cast if it goes all the way through, but no, I have got wood carver's tools and I'm proficient. So
Okay.
I was thinking,
And what are you trying to carve exactly?
so actually, it's a really simple design. It's an ale mug that has Sim's initials, Garlo's initials, and Lucy's initials. Just
The three amigos.
just in a row.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then me and Lucy will just get the tattoo afterwards.
You guys are gonna do this
in the
too,
same
right?
Spot. Yep, 100%. Lucy, yep, we're already in.
So just be clear, you're tattooing CGL inside of a tankard on her arm.
I'm sitting there just like, does this hurt? Oh my god. Oh, like I'm just like, what is happening? And like it's very cute, and I'm just like very worried. I was like, wait, hold on.
I need you to make a tool check on that, Garlo.
Oh no, is it gonna be terrible?
When you first said wood carver's tools and tats, I was like, you're not doing that to me. Hold on, wait a minute.
I'm gonna start carving into you.
Yeah.
Oh wait, wrong arm! Wrong arm! Ah! No.
Just using dexterity for carving.
What's the tool? It's the wood
Oh,
carving.
wood
No,
carver's
this is gonna be
if
a
I-
strength check or a strength based because you're carving into wood. Dexterity would be like you're painting it.
If it wasn't Marine, I would have the uncanny desire to do unruly item and just make you like, ah!
Jesus.
That's permanent. Yeah.
Alright. Let's see what the dice say. That's a nat one.
Ooh.
4 and 8.
Thankfully, your proficiency check still comes in.
Thank
I'll
God.
be honest.
I got so worried.
It
Oh, no.
still looks like a kindergartner used crayons to draw a mug and a series of initials. You did not mess it up horribly, but it sure as hell is not some magnificent piece of wood carving art.
It's perfect.
It is perfect. It is very Garlo. It is very Sim, and it is very Drunken Lucy.
I turned to Garlo and I'm like, does ours have to look like that? Like, very quietly.
Yeah, we're basically just gonna use it as like a stamp, and we're just gonna stamp it onto what? We're gonna stamp it onto our forearms.
Lucy's
I
eyes
mean, if
just
someone
wide,
has
he just
metalworking
quiet.
tools, you could make a brand that matches and just burn it in.
Yeah, what? It can't hurt that bad. This was easy.
It did hurt, Sim.
I assumed.
Oh, I thought it was just wood.
And with that, the time is up.
So I'd like to then, is it like, do we hear I don't know. There's not closing bells at a graveyard, right? Like,
There absolutely is.
Oh, perfect.
You hear the bells of Kellenborg Temple ringing outside. It is the ringing of 8 p.m. 8 bells. And the sound of the gates closing.
So if we can give it a beat, and then I'd ask Sim if it would be okay if I looked at your cat.
When you ask it like that, yeah, sure. And I hold the cat so you can look at the cat.
You mean the Tressum?
Yeah, the Tressum.
Yeah.
And so I explain what I'd like is just if she would just like to go around looking for guards, like on patrol, and just kind of see them, see where they are, come back, because I have the beast sense, so I can see through its eyes. So we're playing the drone again. Oh!
Okay, so I just heard word that the giveaway has started, so keep the action going in chat, folks. And you got a chance to win a set of dice tonight. So, all right. Anything else with the Tressum?
Just using it like a drone, same as last time.
So
Give it
you
also
guys
the
are going
direction
to
of what's
unjam the door. Okay,
Give it a
unjam
shot.
the door. Who's going to open the door?
I will say I was still towards the front. I'm gonna kind of peek.
All right, as you open the door outward, you hear something slide across the door, and then you hear dong, 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 dong. A shovel bounced off another shovel. They leaned them up against the door.
Do I see anything as I kind of wince as it hits the ground, and I'm just like very quickly like, anybody hear that?
You're putting out the candle?
I assumed we were just opening it enough for the cat to get
Still makes a bright light.
out. Sure.
Yeah,
Well,
nice.
for 5 feet, right?
Light's light. When it's dark all around, you still see a candle far away.
Sure.
So the candle goes. You put the candle out because you know you don't want to reveal yourselves. The Tressum darts out. It is dark outside. Occasionally, there's everything comes into sharp perspective when lightning crackles across the sky, but not much else. Who's watching the Tressum through the Tressum's eyes? You are. Okay. The Tressum pops out. A variety of smells strike your nose as the rain continues to pour down. The sights are what you would believe to be, except it's like unbelievable how well the cat can see, or the Tressum can see. Stalking through the taller grass instead of flying, the Tressum sees no one about.
I don't think Luciano was with you when you did this last time.
Nope.
I'm gonna poke Garlo and be like, can he feel this still?
Nope.
I can feel it. I'm just like smacking my hand around. Like I can't see who's hitting me.
You can't see or hear.
Yep. But I can just feel him poking me. All right. Perfect. I tell everybody that the coast looks clear. This lasts for an hour, so I just have the Tressum looking to see if one of those patrols comes by. Because we know that they're going.
Okay, so here's the deal. You can't really do this for an hour if you're going to move around. Are you sitting there for an hour looking for patrols, or how are you going to try to do this? Because moving around is going to be a real feat. Unless someone else is guiding you.
I was going to say, he's a small
move
guy.
Anywhere fast if you do it.
I mean, I can carry a Garlo. Get on my shoulders. I'm a big guy.
But
He's a
Garlo
big guy.
can't communicate with any of you right now because he's in the cat. So
I'll say my understanding was that the Kalimvor priests and the guards are doing extra patrols and doing circuits. So I
They
would
are.
wait after doing this, give it a few minutes to see if I see that first circuit come out, and then I'll let
There
them
are.
know when I see it.
Oh, the Tressum definitely like hops up onto a monument to get a little bit of height. Not really high, just like 4 feet high to see over the grass and everything else. And from that vantage point, can see by torchlight a group that is moving along toward one of the gates actually. But that's all it sees right now. From the count, it looks like there was about 8 guards and possibly a cleric of Kellamore.
And they looked like they were going back in, like maybe they had just finished a set. They were going back into the house, maybe.
They seem to be around the gate, moving toward the gate. But that's all you can tell. Because that's when you spot them. That's not, you don't have any predictive ability to know where they came from, anything like that right now.
Yep. All right. So I just, is it a free action to just come back to? I just say it in the shed. All right. So I see a group. I think it must have been the final sweep of the graveyard, making sure no one was out and about. They're heading back to the gate. I don't see anybody else. So if the stealthy of us want to try to hit these switches and the rest of us wait by the portal or where the portal will come out.
So there is a lock by the front door of the crypt. There is a lock not too far from the entrance. And there's a lock right by.
Yeah, the shed.
It's actually part of the shed. Right? All 3 have to be activated in order to set off whatever needs to happen next.
I say to the others, I'll go to the one by the entrance. Lucy, you have a better disguise, so how about you go to the one near the front entrance?
All right.
Wait. Front entrance would be because you said you're going to go near the one to the entrance, and then you just told him to go to the one to the entrance. So which
I'm not
entrance are you
sure.
talking about?
The one that isn't the place where people go in and out of the graveyard is the one I'll go to. Is that the main door or the entrance?
So there's one at the front of the Water Clock Guild, the main doors that are absolutely sealed, right? There is the one that is along the wall, not too far from the gate to enter the graveyard.
Okay, that's what I'm looking for.
And then there is the one right by the tool shed.
I'll go to the one that's by the guild crypt entrance, and Lucy, how about you go to the one that's near the front entrance because you have a better disguise.
That sounds like a plan to me. We're just
So
putting
just one of
water in,
them?
right? I'm just like, that's the goal.
Yes, it looks like you basically push you work the shield and then you pour the water in the funnel.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure there's none. Okay. All right. Kind of 3 situation. How we?
And you're going alone? Hello?
I can go with Lucy because I'm also dressed like a guard.
Okay.
I'll just let him do the talking.
So,
Bill?
Tiny and Tall,
Turja?
or Tiny and Lucy, is one team. Who's going with Turja?
I can look like a guard as well. I'll come with you, Treasure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Fabulosa, glamored armor.
And it's turning into a guard's armor. Sim and Rafe, you are remaining by the tool shed?
Alone in the shed.
Ooh.
And it's in heaven.
There's 3 that we need to go do, right? So.
The one is at the shed.
Oh, then yeah. Why would we go anywhere else?
Yeah.
Have fun getting wet, y'all.
All right. From there, you guys all set out. Obviously, Rafe and Sim are right on the one that needs to be done. Lucy and Garlo reach the other one before Turja and Vale pass them to get to the one at the Water Clock Guild. Vale and Turja, please make a perception check for me. Okay. You make it up the front set of tiered steps, which are large and stone-like. In series of 3s and 12s, you make it up the stairs, almost symbolically of the various times that you have to go. A total of 365 steps you climb to get to the top. As you get to the entrance, there is 2 shields, one to the right, one to the left. The one to the left is the symbol of Neverwinter. The one to the right is the Waterclock Guild shield.
Just take a quick look around before we start playing with it. Is anyone remotely
You
in
did
sight?
that. You made your perception check.
Okay.
That's what I did.
Okay, just checking.
That counted for multiple things, so your checks are done.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Walk up to the shield and are we supposed to push the button? Or do we turn it? I forget.
Why don't you try?
I try pushing it.
Clunk, clunk, pops back and then pops forward further.
Okay. Does the funnel show up like it did last time?
No, the shield has popped out. You have to rotate the shield
Ah, okay.
out of the way, and there you see a funnel and a number of gears.
I take out my water flask and I pour the water in the funnel.
Before we explain what happened, Lucy and Garlo, what are you doing?
We get to the front. I see, because you said we reached the gate.
No, you reach the part where the shield is before
Yeah.
the gate. Yeah.
All right.
The gate's in view, but nobody seems to be standing by it right
Wait, go. Can you? Where's the shield in relation to the gate? Like, can Garlo reach it? Is my question.
now. Oh yeah, Garlo can reach it. I mean, it's. You remember how I said there was a wall that was like about waist high?
Yeah.
And a little stair step area at one point. So you came down the stair step area, walked down 2 major support posts, because there's a shield on each support post. But this particular shield is the Waterclock Guild shield. You push it in.
Tell Garlo, you take care. I'm gonna just like make sure nobody's like coming up or walking around or.
All right. So Garlo
Keep
pushes
Has
it in,
nothing to do with the
pops
fact
out,
that you don't understand how to do it, right?
Shut up.
slides the shield out of the way.
Water skin?
You start
Down the
pouring
hatch.
water in. Before we explain what happens there, Sim and Rafe, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna go ahead and use shape water, since there's puddles all around,
Mm-hmm.
and direct it right into the puzzle.
So you pop the shield, move it out of the way, and you just take the rainwater off the rain gutters from the roof flowing in and just pour it right in. Is that a spell or is that a cantrip?
It's a cantrip.
Okay, so Sim, you just watch a swirl of water come off the gutter and just swirl right into the funnel. And at that point, all 3 of the clocks, or the funnels, fill with water. And you smell the distinct smell of ozone, and you hear as the gears begin to turn, and the gears actually swirl with water covering them and rotating them into place. At that point, the shields snap back, boom, 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 into place. And right by Sim and Rafe, a bright greenish blue portal peers through reality in a circular fashion. And from out here, it looks like you're staring into a gray stone room.
I cast a message. I think I can see both parties at this point. Is that true?
They are, strangely, in a straight line.
Interesting, but unimportant.
Is it?
Well, I mean, currently, yes.
Okay.
So, let's say Vale and Luciano, you hear in your head, a portal has opened at the shed. You can respond to this message.
One more. Can you repeat the message?
A portal has opened at the shed.
Is that a spell or a cantrip?
It's a cantrip.
Cantrip.
Okay.
I respond, understood, we'll return now.
I'm
Portal's
gonna
open.
be like, hold on, we'll see you soon. And I tell Garlo, there's something at the shed.
Something. Like,
I
what?
said something at the shed. Weird when people burst into your mind and expect you to listen to what they're saying.
Right? It's really rude, isn't it?
It's
like,
terrible.
it should be, you should ask permission. Like,
Honestly.
He's got so many voices in his head to deal with.
Making
Oh,
your way
let's go
through the
see what he's
rain and the
complaining.
mud, you make it back there in about 2.5 minutes because you were all excited. you didn't move slowly. The portal is open. You see into what appears to be a gray stone room, multi-sided. There seems to be some things strewn about the floor, but it is a room.
Let's get this job done. Garlo goes first.
Steps in. Okay. You step in. Boom. He's
Do we see
inside
him
the room.
gone?
You
Like he
see
just-
into the portal, like you can
Oh,
see
okay,
into.
okay.
It's like you're looking into another room.
Garlo? You. Guys!
Run in, trying to go help.
Sam!
Sim jumps in. You see Sim and Garlo start laughing.
It's just a portal, Lucian. It takes you between here and there.
What? They're okay. And I look to like see if they're okay now, like what Sim looks like.
Yes, they're perfectly fine, Luciano.
Okay.
I say go in and see for yourself. And I push Luciano in the portal.
Make a dexterity check, Luciano, because the portal is actually partially off the ground, so you might trip on the way in.
Oh God. Oh, you said Dex. You said saving throw or check?
Yep. Dex saving throw.
14.
Yeah, you trip a little, but you
What
come
the-
through okay.
What?
And looking out the portal, you see your friends standing in the graveyard in the dark. Their silhouettes, and the occasional flash of lightning that makes them come into stark contrast and reality as light and rain pours off of them.
You know,
I will
just
step
like
through
being
following
wet.
Luciano.
You step through.
As Vale goes through, he leads with his left arm and looks at Sim. What's the worst that could happen? Arm halfway through the portal, and then steps the rest of the way through.
Okay. Turja.
I look up at the sky and I say, I know I already owe you a lot, Tamora, but I swear if you get me out of this, I will give you 50 gold. And I go into the portal.
Boom.
50 gold out of the 100,000 some we have.
From
And,
within the portal, you
I'm
hear
gonna
the
go ahead.
sound of. Go ahead.
I said, as soon as I step through the portal, I'm going to use shape water to shed all of the water off and pull my robes out and put them back on.
Okay.
Garlo just shakes like a dog.
As you step into the portal, you see the lightning and thunder from outside flashing in, and you can hear it as it crackles through. Turning around and looking in the room, you see about 5 different clumps of what look to be cloth or clothing, and in one case armor, crumpled onto the ground. Taking in the room, it has 12 sides. The portal closed right behind you, and everything is dark once again. And you see nothing.
Good
We
thing
want-
someone bought a torch. Haha.
So what are you doing? Because it's dark.
I cast
That's
dancing
full-
lights.
Well, my first question is it like absolutely like I can
It's absolutely dark.
see dark
There's
vision?
no light.
Guys,
I pull out my
guys?
hooded lantern and say, illuminate.
Illuminat. And the lantern flashes to life. It's bright, bluish, warm light bathes the area. The direction that the portal came from would have been about the 2 o'clock position. You are standing in a 12-sided room. On each wall of the room, you see a number of different icons and runes, some of which you recognize and some of which you don't. Languages possibly more ancient than anything you could ever recognize, and some that are fairly well known. Elvish, Dwarvish, possibly Giant and Draconic. Other icons as well.
Mhm.
The only thing you can recognize in common is that some of them, as you guys work out the details, correlate to the various different numbers on a clock facing 1 through 12. In common on each one of these, you see a 1 through 12 as well, making it fairly easy.
I tell the others, all right, the book about the Clock Guild said there were 12-sided rooms, and I think we have a riddle or an equation we have to solve here.
At that point, you recognize that the cloth and armor on the ground appear to be bodies.
I don't want to freak anybody out.
Old, dry, desiccated bodies.
I'm just gonna give them a quick looking over.
So there's various states of dress. They've been here. From a look over, make a nature check.
16.
16. They appear to be about 2 months old, about the time that a group disappeared in the records.
Huh. I think these may be our erstwhile foes.
And you see that all of them are pretty much face down, save for one, which was slumped over in an almost seated position. As you lift that one up, you see what appears to be a small book with writing.
I will grab the book and toss it to Vale.
Vale catches it and start flipping through it. What's the
It's a
journal
diary at first, but as you get towards the last few pages, the real important parts come out. Curse the fat man for sending us here. I hope he rots in hell for what he's done to us.
Fair.
The traps have killed all of my friends. I am all that remains.
I would like to say, while they were doing that, by the way, I'm just like walking around the room, like trying to figure out what's what.
It's been at least 8 days, and we've been out of water and food. I fear I may not make it much longer.
As I'm reading this aloud and I see Lucy going and poking stuff, stop, don't touch anything. Traps.
What? And I'm like, I'm frozen at this point. You say traps, I'm like, okay.
There are a few weapons. There is a good set of scale mail armor, should you wish to take it off the desiccated body. But whatever they've been here a while. As the torchlight starts to run over the gray stone, you notice an unusual feature. The stone is there, but it's like there's a continuous glowing of dark gray coming off of it. It's as if it's there but smoky, but definitely solid.
While Vale and I assume Terja are taking a look around, I will systematically loot the corpses.
Okay. You find 4 daggers, 2 short swords, a long sword, a hand axe, a number of different crowbars, 2 sets of thieves' tools, 1 set of horrible leather armor.
Is this in the loot pool?
It is not. It will be added.
Okay.
Everything's in great condition.
Except
The
for one
catch-
set of armor.
Except the leather armor, but it was never in that great a shape to begin with, probably.
Okay.
But what you also notice now as you get used to the room and the light is that the air is very, very dry.
Huh.
And in the center of all this on the floor, there are a variety of things going out to accentuate out each of the clock facings. But everything leads back to the center keystone in the floor. Inside is etched a message. 18 is the number for the 3 locks. Provided you are standing at where 30 would add with the 3 locks, the portal will open. Terja, if you're talking, you're muted.
I'm talking to myself. I'm trying
Oh,
to
okay.
figure it out.
Lucy is still stone, like frozen. Just
Is Vale reading this out loud?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we
Do
read
not have a
any of
voice
the
too.
Elvish? I read Elvish and Dwarvish. Does that help at all? Are there any more clues that would be relevant here?
That's all you get.
How tall is
12.
the ceiling down here?
The
12.
ceiling
Vale.
is 12 feet high.
18 and 30. 12. 12.
18 and 30. 18 and 12 is 30. That is correct.
3
18
times
is your
6
number.
is 18, and then maybe 3 times 6 plus 12.
Lucy is stressed. I'm sweating just hearing all these numbers. What? 13, 12, 18, what?
By the way,
I'm with
I
you.
am commenting as I loot.
Let's try standing. Luciano, you go stand at number 3, and I'll stand at 12. And Cimarine, how about you stand at number 6?
Sure, yeah, it's a great place
So
to stand.
people are standing at 3, 12, and 6.
Yes.
I
Okay.
very deliberately, knowing that there's traps, like I'm staring at where I'm stepping, just like.
Okay. Where's everyone else standing?
Does it appear to be like a mechanism we need to spin here at this keystone, or is
You
it
haven't
a...
done anything. It's just
No,
the keystone
that's
says
what
this.
I'm
It's
asking.
in the
I'm
floor.
asking Vale. Yep. Do we need to do something? Do we need to step on it, or pull it, or what are we thinking?
How big is the thing in the floor? Kind of like a 10-foot diameter?
It's a 4 foot by 4 foot. Well, it's a 4 foot circle per se, where this stuff is etched. There's some other icons of a clock around it that also coalesce to or correlate to the walls themselves. So the 12 points to the 12 wall, the 6 points to the 6 wall, the 9 points to the 9 wall, so on and so on.
Gotcha. Okay. And does there look like a place on the floor where people could stand that would have some significance other than just a bare patch of floor?
There does not.
Does it look like, if I get down in there, being a gnome and having artificering, does it look like this can shift? This keystone in the middle?
Let me add another detail I forgot to mention. On each wall, there is a shield with the 1 o'clock guild symbol.
You want me to push this? Is that a trap?
Which one are you on, Lucy?
What was I, 12?
I think you're 12, yeah. I was on 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's doing what when?
That's what I'm. Because I am not about to get blown away by a trap.
To be fair, it's probably not fire. They would probably drown.
Didn't really drown these corpses.
How about I go first, and then Sim, and then you, Lucy. I want to. It says 18 is the number for the 3 locks, provided we're standing at where 30 would add with the 3 locks. So I think we want to do the 6 and 3 for 18 first, and then add the 12.
Okay.
Sure!
I'm
6
sort of
and
like
3,
praying
and
it's
then the
more
12?
under my breath as we go through this.
Okay. So who's doing what first?
I push the 3 first, and then I look at Sim and I say, now the 6, Sim.
You push the
Enthusiastically
3,
touch.
it clacks and pops open.
The
You
3
push the
does?
6,
Oh.
it clacks and pops open.
I very, timidly will push the 12.
Okay. You push the 12, and you immediately take 3d6 lightning damage,
Oh,
and all the
crap.
locks close back up. I need you to make a athletics check.
It's a 3d6. Hold on. Let me do one thing at a time.
Yeah, I'm doing the damage right now for you.
Oh, you
don't
got damage?
worry.
Okay.
That's
Is that
11
athletic
total
check?
damage.
Oh dear.
You said athletic check?
Athletics check, yeah.
There's not a saving. Yeah. Check. Duh.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. For a
Okay.
yeah, that's not bad.
So you guys have popped open your locks, and you're looking at Lucy, and Lucy's like, okay, and he gingerly lights up, and he's like, "Huh." Oh, oh.
Lucy, are
And
you
the
okay?
locks clack back in.
Did you not? Wait, you told me to push the button.
I guess that wasn't the answer.
Someone took Lucy's place.
Yeah. I'll be guinea pig. How about, okay, so it looked like the first two worked, so are we just missing number 3 here? Or
It
it's
could
just
be
the
the
fact...
whole combination. You need to do the whole combination before it triggers the trap if you're wrong.
Or you have to do them simultaneously.
We didn't
the
have to
first two
do
didn't.
the first set simultaneously.
You're like, it's just out of
I'm
order?
only going to tell you
or-
what you see. You got to tell me what you do. That's half the fun of this trap. I mean, room, locks.
I'm still shaking a little bit, just mostly electricity.
I'm sorry, Lucy. Are you all right?
I'll be fine. Yeah. I'll be good.
Okay, so that was one solution. Was our someone else say something earlier? Solution-wise? Or was that our we're just gonna keep pressing those buttons?
No.
Yeah.
At least not
Well-
yet.
If we're trying to get 18, I mean 9 and 2 also is 18.
Okay.
If we're trying that, or do we think it's just that one's wrong? Well, because it also says providing that we're standing at 30. So do we have to be standing in a certain spot for it to go off?
But where's 30?
Where they all meet, I guess?
Why would that be 30?
I'll review something with you really quick. Okay.
Please.
18 is what? What did it say? For the 3 locks.
18 is the
Right.
number for the 3 locks.
3 locks. 30 is where you must stand for the portal. Right?
Oh!
You know that 3 is clacked open. You know that 6 is clacked open. You know that 12 shocked the ever-loving shit out of Lucy. But you found 2 locks.
Oh. 3 times 10?
Is that 18?
No. But it's 3 times 10 is 30.
Oh, 369.
Damn, you're fine. Sorry.
Should do 9. 369 is 18.
I'll go over to 9.
Provided you're standing at where 30 would add with 3 locks.
Do it again?
Let's try 369 this time then. Yeah, okay. Maybe
take
I'll stand
position
at
at
9 though. I'll stand at 9 though. I don't want anyone else to suffer if I'm wrong again.
How about, I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. I'm a pretty hardy little fella.
Give your head a little rock.
Are you sure?
I trust you.
Yeah.
I make my way to 9.
I shrug and I push number 3 again.
Clack, clack. Thing pops open, shifts to the side. There is a funnel there.
Touch mine.
Clack, clack. You're on 6, right?
Yes.
Okay. It pops open. There is a funnel there.
Dippy toes. Push the button.
Clack, clack. It pops open, and there is a funnel there.
That's a good sign. Okay.
Pour the water.
Yes.
I take my water skin out and I pour some into the funnel.
Begin spinning.
Go.
I do mine.
Same.
You hear it as a rumbling occurs all throughout the room. At that point, as it spins up, and then you hear a crackling charge, and then the shields clack back into place, boom, 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 and snap into place. At that point, 3 portals open. One at 2 o'clock, one at 12 o'clock, and one at
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Okay.
And with that, we're going to go on a short break. And when we come back, we're going to find out what the party decides to do. We'll see you in just a few moments. And we're back. Hey,
Woo!
before we get started, we got a quick announcements from some of our sponsors and some of the things that support us. Who gets started with us today for that?
That would be me.
All right.
Remember, if you have Amazon Prime, you also get a free Prime Gaming subscription. Show your support to the show, cast, and crew, and hit that link in chat. Prime Gaming subscribers get access to sub-only emotes and to a special subscriber-only channel on the TGT Discord.
And who kicks off after that?
So I don't know
Oh.
if everybody noticed, but somebody made use of Streamloots just now to help out the game master.
What?
Yeah,
Betrayal.
apparently the monsters now have advantage, which, by the way, is one of the things that you can do with Streamloots cards. You can use them to help out the game master to make things harder for us. We hope you don't do that. We would prefer that you spend cards to help us out, but either way, they're your cards. You can do what you want with them, especially the biscuit card, the best card.
And I get the privilege of talking about Shard Tabletop, which, if you haven't heard, is the best place to play your 5th edition games. It makes everything so easy, which is great for a person like me who wants to do no work. I let the people who know what they're doing, our tech goblin, our DM, Rob, everybody else do all the work. But no, I get to sit back and, just bathe in the simplicity. Loot pools. You get to just pull what you want. It makes inventorying your spells, your cantrips, your weapons, your dice rolls. Everything is so easy, one click away, in a very convenient, easy way to find it. So, I mean, I could go on and on, but it's just an amazing place. You can keep track of multiple different games. I have like 3 characters from all the games I've played with the Games Tavern in there, and you can just easily add and drop characters from campaigns. Again, we can't say enough nice things about the Shard Tabletop system, and because we like you guys so much, we got the hookup. If you use our code at checkout, TGTShard20, you can get 20% off all of your subscriptions. That's 20%.
Say it
That's
again.
a huge deal off of all your subscriptions at checkout using code TGTShard20. So please, please, please go do yourself a favor. Check out that link in chat. Get some cool, subscriptions to the characters, not the characters, the system, the little what's it called, supplements, whatever they got there, and have yourself a ball.
And you get customized character sheets, so it is kind of character things. You could do that too.
Dice, I still gotta get new dice. Every time I see Brandon's dice, I get jealous.
All right. I think that rounds off the announcements, and now we got a question or two. What's the first question? How was school for the individual characters? So, why don't we kick off with Turja on that one? How was school for your character?
Well, some of the other kids were kind of mean because most of them were on the wealthier sides. They were always very bratty and tended to be tease each other about social status. Yeah. Incidentally, school is where Turja met Sahir, so if you want the backstory for that, we should get the DM to go into that
The
later.
younger years.
Yeah.
Character development
story.
probability. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What about you, Vale?
Vale wanted to be a wizard and tried to apply to a couple academies, but was turned away due to his status as a half-breed, and ended up joining the Knights of Ogma and working his way through libraries.
Okay. Luciano?
Without saying too much, Luciano was homeschooled for his entire life. So never really got to socialize or be around other people. So when he got to, it was a great treat. And he, as he is now, was very, very social. He loved talking to people. It was kind of the opposite. He wasn't kind of nervous. He was bad at talking to people. Don't get me wrong, but he was excited to do it.
Rafe?
I think that it's clear that Rafe went to Gon school. Was trained to be a priest. Yeah. Oh no, it's Gon school. Yeah. And as I think everyone has learned at this point, his specialty is irrigation and farm engineering. So yeah, he spent a lot of time getting dirty and playing in the mud.
Sim?
I would also say I was homeschooled. I don't think my background has a lot of formal training behind it. Most of the stuff I learned was from my brother. That's at least applicable to, general schooling. I had a lot of mentors along the way. You call them that.
Garlo.
Yeah, it was a simple school. It was fun. It was more of the kind of the country thing, so all the kids are all in one building all together. It was fine reading, writing, arithmetic, and then learning carpentry from my father. So pretty
Outstanding.
pretty good. Pretty happy.
Do we have any other questions, or we're good? What would your characters order at the coffee shop? Or excuse me, the Mestique and Bean Juice shop. What's your order? Starting with Vale.
He would take one of the menus and not order anything, so he could turn it into Candlekeep later for entrance.
Fair.
Garlo.
Cold brew. Garlo burns his tongue on hot beverages too often, so it's got to be cold brew so he can drink it.
Sim.
I am really torn. It's between like either getting the sweetest, most frappuccino-y thing with all the chocolate chips and the syrups on it, or something like a drink that is pink and has like a lot of like bright color to it. Sweet, though, the name of the game.
Rafe.
Chai latte with oat milk.
Sergio.
Yes.
Espresso.
And Luciano.
Whatever he could that has the most caffeine and is also sweet. So like if it was like a vanilla latte with like extra, like just espresso shots of espresso, like whatever it is that he can have caffeine and something that tastes really good.
Okay. And we all know he knows how to make coffee grounds with water.
I was gonna say,
yeah,
that's why he goes crazy. He's gonna tell them like, I want the strongest thing you can make, but also make it because he doesn't have to do it.
Exactly. Okay, now back to our game.
Whoa.
Here we go. Portals open. Looking through the various portals, the one at 2 o'clock is dark, but ripples in the light. The one at 12 o'clock appears to be a graveyard with lightning flashing overhead. And of course, 10 o'clock, you see what can only be expressed as a constant flash of bright lights, almost like lightning, and shadowy buildings that seem to constantly have a ripple of smoke coming off of the very edges of them, similar to the bricks within here. 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Which portal do you take?
I want to be on record that I hate this.
I kind of like, I'm rubbing my horn, just like, okay, happy place. I look up and I see there's more portals. I'm like, no.
I look at you said the 2 o'clock one was the one that looks like the graveyard?
No, the 12 o'clock one is the one that looks like the graveyard.
2 o'clock is dark, you said, right?
2 o'clock is dark, but occasionally you see what looks like ripples, wet ripples.
Like
I
it's
look at
filled
the
with
others
water?
and I say, well, 3, 6, and 9 were 18. 12 plus 18 would be 30. So that adds with the 3 locks.
Makes
Yeah,
sense to
sounds
me.
good.
I mean,
That's a
worst comes
reasonable
to
guess.
worst, we end up back in the graveyard and we just kind of start over. So
As you're standing there, you feel that familiar feeling as the hair on the back of your neck stands up with a static charge.
No.
No, what?
I don't.
Oh, we got to make a
and-
decision.
And then you notice the shambling figures on the ground begin to start to shake a little bit. The ones you've stripped of all their goods.
y'all, I'm not really looking to add to my Uric collection anytime soon, so you want to go through 12?
12 sounds great. I love 12. It's my favorite number. Let's go.
I say
12
let me go
did we do it?
first.
Turgid, you jump through?
Yes.
You jump through.
Mora, help.
Who's behind her?
Stepping right
Garlo.
through.
Going.
Rayfiz, Garlo, Sam, all of you kind of pile out. And as you pile out, you glance back and you are standing right back outside the same portal you came in. And you look through the room and you see the figures of the skeletons beginning to get up. And the portal closes. You are standing in the graveyard once more. Can I
That's
get the
it.
graveyard music back, please?
That's all we needed to do, right? We can go back and it's fine, right?
But did we
No,
open
we-
the crypt?
Need to do it again.
I mean, it's not as though
And
it's
from there, you hear what sounds like a loud talk, 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 as metal clacking sounds shift
Guards.
from what must be the largest vault door you've ever heard in
the
your
vault's
life.
open.
And you hear the loudest, I mean, it echoes across the graveyard.
Probably be better for us to get there before the guards do, yeah.
Yeah,
And
let's
we're
go.
walking. We're walking.
What? Where? Are we? Okay.
Come on, Lucy, I'll race you.
I'm running away from where we were. It was bad there.
Okay. As you get up the 365 steps, once again, running through the grass, the stairs, everything else to get to these stairs, at the top, the giant metal doors are open.
We did it. Oh,
You
thank
see
God we
in-
did.
There is a 20-foot long series of stone floor. You see a door on the left, a door on the right inside, and then you see a long stairway downward.
So
You are
we,
still standing in the rain outside of the door.
we
Taking
going
all
in?
this
Get inside.
Yes,
Going
we
in,
are.
Stepping inside.
I hesitantly wait back from that. Like I'm very like trap oriented, so I'm like, okay, and I'm gonna let everybody else go, and I'm gonna follow closely behind, but wait for everyone else to go.
As we're running along, Garlo's very short, so any like standing puddles of water, he's gonna like slosh his water skins through to fill him back up.
Smart.
Okay.
And
That's awfully time consuming.
Just scoosh in, just as I'm running by.
Okay.
All that drag.
And you step in.
as soon as everyone is inside, I go, "Who has an empty water skin?"
I hold mine up.
And I
Mine are-
use shape water to grab the water off of the wet people and put it back into the water skin.
As you begin to
wow.
do that, the large metal doors chok, 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 as the locks come into place.
Oh, I guess there's only one way now.
This is what we wanted, right?
One at a
It is
time,
dark
strong.
for a brief moment, and then two sconces to the left and right light up with green flame. Magically. You hear what can only be described as a ticking sound.
Well, I think the only way is forward at this point.
There is a door to the left, a door to the right, and at the end of the 20-foot long walkway, there is a stairway that goes down. There is ornate decorations on every wall, symbols of time, of other planes. That who has a Arcana or History?
I have five
As
plus
Arcana?
five plus 6 history.
No. Okay. Do you have
Fails
proficiency?
for-
You have to have proficiency.
I do.
Fails
Okay.
proficient as well in both.
Okay. I'll let you both make independent rolls. to determine what you guys figure out.
Our choice, Arcana, or History?
Yes, but you can only do one or the other.
18.
Okay.
23.
Ooh, the
Okay.
hot dice.
The big head unveiled.
Vale, you recognize some of the iconography as symbols of another plane called Mechanus, which is a plane that is known for its clockwork perfection and order. Turja, what you recognize is the stonework was artfully done, but it was in a style that was, well, at least 400 years old.
This place is old.
How old?
At least 400 years. I don't know for sure. We should get going. We should move.
We want to take a look at the doors, or do we just want to head down the stairs?
Well, if you look there, and there, you'll see that's a Mechanus. Are you familiar with that?
Mechanus?
Yes.
Bless you.
Arcane symbol, all about clockwork and order.
Yes,
No.
I am familiar.
Inside shit. No.
I assume that, given that Mechanus is my god's home plane, I know a little bit about it.
A
Yeah,
smidge.
Mechanus, of course.
Fine.
Very interesting. I mean, it makes sense. Water clock work, clock guild, all that jazz.
Plus that
I mean-
ticking.
And it's
Are we
not.
interested?
It's not like tick 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 tick. It's more like oh, oh, and it echoes. It's like thrumming through the building.
I doubt whatever we're after's they kept right here at the front door, but I mean, we'd kick ourselves for if it was. So, we want to take a quick gander at what's in these rooms before we go on.
Sure. Let's check the left one first.
The left. one.
I cautiously step away from the door. Again, I'm on high alert.
Okay. You check the left-hand door. All right. And it is locked, of course, because nothing is simple.
Nick.
You're going to attempt to pick the lock. Okay. Go ahead.
Finally. 27.
Oh, God.
Nice.
With much consternation and challenge, the lock does finally give way. This is a very, very fine lock. I need you to make a saving throw, a dexterity saving throw.
14.
You did manage to avoid getting hit by a needle. Bonk, it hits your pick instead. You see a blackish, greenish liquid drip off of it.
Well, I seem to have a lot of luck avoiding these needles by the skin of my teeth.
The door clacks open, and you are in a very large library.
I
A
look
series
at
of scrolls,
no, wait.
books, and strange implements fill shelves in this area.
This is probably not what we want. Does it all look like it's on clockmaking?
You have to go in and check it to find out.
Dale, you need a minute there, pal?
I do. I'm going to look and see if there's a catalog, how it's organized, throw my whole being
Try
into
to
it.
drag Vale out. Just like,
So,
Vale is a
there-
trained archivist with his background. So,
there is a method to the madness. It is different from what the Temple of Ogma does, but you can see how it's influenced.
It all
this
starts to
area.
reorganize.
It is orderly. There are a number of different. There are a number of different subjects. There are things on clockmaking, water clockmaking, the finery of metallurgy and shaping. There are also a few books on other subjects that are random. Not any spell books, despite how much you might look like all over it. It's just none in there. However, What is also interesting is that there are some other things in there, some history of the Waterclock Guild, some history of Gond, and some history of the world at large, as well as a couple different pictographic artful pieces that are continually added to over time that show the various different Waterclock Guild masters as they've been selected over time, with the latest one being Shablon. And the rest of them have death dates. However, it all started with an elf who came out of Luskan hundreds of years ago.
Okay, I'm going to nab that book, bring it with.
It's not a book. It's a giant tapestry.
Oh,
That is a very large tapestry. That's up there.
Pull it up.
Outside of that, there are hundreds of books. There are books on mechanical spring use, as well as the harvesting of various different elementals to your needs. And there are a few other subjects just on Gond, which strangely, if you wish to check them out, you do find out that there was a war between the Temple of Gond, a secret war, if that, where Gond and the followers of Gond hated wizards and magic users of all sorts. And if any of them forsook or tried to say that their magic was better than mechanical objects, they would be hunted down and killed as quickly as possible. At some point, during something known as the there was a great cataclysm as Toril was separated and various different groups disappeared overnight, transported interdimensionally to another location, including where the center of all things Gond, Lantern, where they had made the first inventions of smoke powder, cannons, and a variety of other things, disappeared, along with a few other large continents, only to reappear within the last 20 years, almost 100 years later. The followers of Gond have since, as you know, Rafe, reappeared, this time being considerably more accepting of magic. There was a schism even between the Temple of Gond with the old remnants that were still left on Toril and those that came back from Lantern, with the ones from Lantern eventually supplanting the old followers of Gond, who refused to take the new ways. Whatever happened to the island of Lantern, no one speaks to this day that you are aware of. However, even today, there are many old wizards who refuse to entreat with the Temple of God. Other histories indicate that the Gond temples would steal and hoard knowledge to prevent others from getting it.
As Vale is pointing these books out, I am piling them up.
And
Okay.
Vale is still supercharged under the long-lasting effects of the Tireless spell, so I'm able to read 3 times as fast, and I'm probably moving in sync a little bit with that background tick and talk, because it is clockwork magic that I'm under the effect of.
Okay.
But I'm going to go for like the 5 books that I've never seen before, kind of like rare stuff, because I know that'll get us into Candlekeep, and it's worth something on the book black market.
So there are some ancient texts that you're pretty sure have a good chance of not being in there. One is a actual like hidden unknown history of the Waterclock Guild.
Oh yeah.
It's about 50 years ago that it was finished, but it was written by the previous Waterclock Guild master. There is a number of other things on mechanical object construction. There was one that's a pictographic book that catches you a little off guard. One where elementals have been placed into varieties of different mechanical objects to continually make them work. So instead of a clockwork object that eventually, stops moving after a certain period of time, these things can continue to do that. And you see things where there's some interesting suits of armor, magically enhanced, and with mechanical crossbows, big axes, other things. There's something that looks like horrible sharp-toothed mechanical hounds. and a few other things too, but far more than you anticipated. Go ahead, Garlo.
I imagine that Vale and Rafe are like going over these things like out loud, like talking about all this histories and all this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, it's all well and good. Do they have any pictures of the thing we're after?
Oh, you're after a thing?
Very good, Garlo. At that point, the light bulbs go off for all of you. And you look for a number of different books on time stoppage. The very nature of time itself, or chronomagy, as it's often referred to, only in their books. And you do discover a single book on a variety of different things, specifically chronomagy. And in one of them, they do discuss how one of the Water Clock Guild masters, and also a wizard, about 300 years ago, created the first tick-tock of time stop, as it was called then. And it is now a legendary object that is housed in his sarcophagus somewhere in the crypt. Ooh. And the name of that person is Lorenzo Adolphus.
Well, I guess at least we know what we're looking for roughly now.
It was a rock gnome who lived in Neverwinter.
Adolphus?
Adolphus, Lorenzo Adolphus.
I feel very sim right now because I'm like, I like that name. Dang it.
Well,
Take it.
I think we need to get moving. We can't stay here forever.
I mean, are you sure just a few more minutes? I mean, look at all these books.
No, we need
It says
to
we gotta go. Come on.
We don't
We
want to.
have a
The
headache.
longer we're here, the more dangerous it gets. Let's find what we need and get out.
Okay, so as that is going on, Rafe just begins piling more books up, and then he looks at Vale and says, "We split the load."
Sure, yes.
Where are you putting these books?
Rafe does have room in his bag of holding at this point.
Okay. So you
And
drop
then
them
we
in.
have the other one, because we dumped out all the stuff we gave to the fat man. We inverted it on his floor, so we've got the other bag too.
What did you do with all the stuff that you filled up the bag of holding with?
It's in a closet at headquarters.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we
There's literally a closet that if you open the door, all this stuff will
It's
come
gonna.
out. Okay.
Let's
It's a
try
surprise
not
for
to-
we were like-
Terry.
Let's try not to take everything the Water Clock Guild owns. That seems rather unsporting considering what we're taking already.
Yeah,
Take
no,
more.
this is not all the books. This is a selection of books that Vale pointed out that are relevant to Vale and Rafe's interests. Not
All
all.
right, nerds, let's go. And I start just like pushing Rafe, like hands on his butt, just like pushing him out the door.
But there's so many valuable.
We have to go.
Value of knowledge, blah blah blah. Value of gold.
You step out into the 20-foot ledge once more, or 20-foot long floor once more, with the large, massive, heavy front doors to your right, the library behind you, and the other door in front of you, and a stairway going downward to your left.
Let's go down. I don't think the sarcophagus is going to be behind that other door. That just doesn't make sense.
I'm all for it. There was a trap in that door, and the less traps we encounter, the better. So,
Okay. So you're heading down the stairs?
No?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't
As
suppose
you-
in any of the books we got was just map of Water Clock Guild crypts, was it?
that'd be really
Nope.
nice.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Nice try.
No. No.
It's in
never
a
gonna be that
super
easy.
unassuming looking book. It's like
Yeah.
just regular leather.
There is one on the wall, like really filmy plastic though. You can't really read it.
You are here.
All it says is emergency fire stairs.
Exactly.
Really quick, what's the order and how are you guys going down the stairs? The stairs are essentially, it's a 10-foot wide stairway going downward at a not ridiculously steep rate, but it's going downward further than your torches and lantern currently show.
I'll go in the lead with my I'll go with the bullseye lantern pointing forward
Okay.
to illuminate things.
I'll go second.
I'm in the very back.
I'll
Okay,
be in the
Lucio.
middle, but I'll be going between the side of the wall and the ceiling to give room.
Okay. I guess that leaves Sim and Raven back.
I guess so.
Okay, so
Lucy's
who's in
back,
which
back.
place? Is Sim in
Oh.
front or is Rafe in front?
I imagine Sim's in front.
Yeah, okay. And okay.
Lucy, do you want my other lantern?
Do we need more light?
He
Well,
just seems. I just look at Bill. He just seems like he needs a little extra something.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah.
I give
Okay.
him my hooded lantern, and then I have my bullseye out front.
Okay. And all right. So I've made a note. You all make it down the stairs, and Garlo, just as you get to the landing where there is another set of double doors, there's a 10-foot landing there. You're walking ahead of Turja and everybody else. Your foot hits a stone that then sinks an inch. Clunk. 3 shots ring out. Make a dexterity check.
Check or saving throw?
Saving throw. Go. Thank you.
Can I see it? Because I've got danger sense.
I'll say that there was just enough time as you realized your foot dropped that something wasn't right.
Okay.
So I'll give you advantage.
I'll take the advantage because that's not great.
That was a lovely 9. Let's see what your advantage brings you.
Oh, it's a 10. It's even better.
Okay, unfortunately, 3 cross bolts hit you
Oh.
in succession. For
respect this
16
grouping.
points of piercing damage. Thunk, thunk, thunk. Painfully.
Ow. Watch out. There's traps. Fuck.
Lucy's
You-
like,
After those 3 bolts fly out, propelled by heaven only knows what, you hear what sounds like the rushing sound of air and the clack, 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 clack,
Oh no.
clunk, clunk.
Everybody move.
I jump
hustle
out of the
down.
way. I don't even know where I'm jumping. I'm just sort of going to the side.
Okay, so you guys jump to the sides, except for Garlo. Are you staying on that plate, or are you releasing that
I'm going.
step?
Yeah, I'm going down. Further down to get clear. I guess Garlo's
You-
imagining.
All right, so you move forward and you lean up against the double doors. The stone does not look any different than the rest of them, except that it pops back up, chunk, and you hear a doing as it pops back into place.
I have my lantern pointed at it, and I'm
Mhm.
like, everyone go around that one.
No discoloration, nothing you would have picked up on out of the blue. You're gonna have some challenges here, maybe.
I
Want some
take out a
just
piece
show,
of
like,
chalk. I take out a piece of chalk and I mark it
Okay.
lightly so I don't trigger it.
Okay. You have enough
Gonna
common
say-
sense not to push down with the chalk too hard.
Yes.
Okay. Stepping forward, you are now standing on the 10-foot area right in front of the double doors. What are you going to do now, guys?
Is it locked?
Would you like to check it?
Yes.
Okay.
Carefully.
All right. You check the door. It appears to be locked.
I pick the lock again, carefully checking for traps this time. I
You're
am
checking for
capable of
traps
learning
first.
my lesson eventually.
Okay. Check for traps.
Yes.
Make your roll.
What do I roll for that? Sorry.
That would be
Investigation.
investigation. Yes.
15.
Okay. You don't detect any traps.
I make a roll. I try to pick the lock.
Okay. Try to pick the lock.
17.
The lock does pick. Click, click. The doors are now possibly able to be opened.
Okay.
I don't like that.
Carefully
Conditioning.
do
Look-
so while checking for traps again, or just making sure I'm keeping an eye out.
Yeah. What we're not going to do is a constant, never-ending check for traps.
Okay.
You can look for traps. You've gotten your hint that they exist.
Okay.
But what if you do that? You will be slowed down greatly. I'll put it that way.
All right.
So you open the door. It opens freely. You see a long hallway. There is a series of arched entryways that don't appear to have any doors in front of them. But you do see one that appears to have a dark purple field to the left. You can't quite see anything, but you know it's definitely dark and purple.
Does it look like a portal?
You're seeing it from your standpoint, not in front of the portal, or whatever that is. So you don't know.
I point at it and say, "Let's check out that one first."
Alright.
And what's the like ceiling height down here?
The ceiling height in this case is now 20 feet high.
What are you doing, Spider-Man?
I was gonna say,
Spider-Man, please.
there he swings.
Spider-Man.
That is a good question. I'm with you guys on the ground.
Oh, that's
So
fine.
as you make your way in, you see the long hallway. It's about 70 or 80 feet long. There is a door at the end. There are two doors to the left and right of the door at the end. The one on the left is the one that has a purplish glow that looks like some kind of coruscating energy field of some sort. And there are two more doors to the left and the right before that. Or not doors, archway entrances, per se. The archway entrance at the end appears to go into a large chamber that you can see with your lantern, but not very much more than that. You do not know from where you're standing what are in the ones to the left or the right, but you're welcome to check if you wish.
Yeah,
What do you
I
get?
give a cursory look with my lantern, just kind of as we're going towards it, just
Okay.
looking around. It's like a 60-foot cone? No. Hooded lantern, let me pull it up. Bullseye is 60-foot cone of light, and then dim light for another 60 feet. So 120 feet.
So 20 feet down, you see the portal to the left, or the arched entrances to the left and the right. They lead to what looks to be obviously large, copious crypt vaults of the various different Water Clock Guild members and their families. There are probably hundreds of mini vaults. They go all the way up the 20 feet high in these rooms. And it's just a long hallway full of them.
I'm going to assume that our fellow Lorenzo is probably kept in a nicer part of this area.
These are nice, but
Mhm.
not Water Clock Guildmaster nice. They are marble, they're well etched. You can see a variety of names. The right-hand side is the same.
Move
You
on.
wish to go in or move on?
Move on. I think probably through the door is probably the VIP area, right? Or at least further down.
Okay, so further down. The archway to the right leads to another crypt area. Very long. This one appears to be a little bit older. Nothing too terribly fancy, but nothing not unfancy about it either. The one to the left has a purplish, what can only be described as arcane field in front of it. It is somewhat transparent, and within you see a long hallway that then bends off to a direction you cannot see.
I take a crossbow bolt and I stick it in the field a little bit, not actually any part of my body, just the crossbow bolt.
The minute your bolt hits that, you feel a shocking jolt through your entire body regardless, and you take 4 points of, psychic damage. Or excuse me, force damage. Force damage, not psychic damage.
Okay. I yank the bolt out as fast as I can. I say,
Oh,
"Don't
you
touch
do.
it." Yeah. It hurts.
And then there's the archway door all the way to the end. Right to your right now if you're facing the purple thing, but at the end of the hallway.
Do we think it's probably because looking? Do we see more crypts behind this purple energy archway, or do we not see? We see
you
it
see a
bends off
hallway
away.
that then
Yeah.
turns out and you can't see where it goes.
What do we think? Do we want to try to bugger with this, or do we want to?
As long as you're the one buggering.
You
Does there
feel
appear to be
another
any-
static charge hit the back of your neck.
Oh dear.
Does there appear to be on this archway with the purple energy on either side of it, like any sort of sigil or iconography, like a past thing? No.
The only thing you can see is that each of the archways in here has various different symbols of clock and time etched into them. But it appears to be artistic more than anything else.
I'm guessing you need some sort of pass key to get through here, like a badge maybe, something that lets you pass through.
You think one of the
Lucy,
body?
tune into one of the Watercloth Guild masters real quick. Let's see if it works.
Who was the one that we talked to the water clock
Shablon.
guy?
Tableau.
Yeah. I don't think it recognizes me. Didn't work.
Nothing changed, and you just burned a spell.
No,
Or is
no,
that
it's
one of
just
your
cat.
hat? Okay. Is there a charge on that, or a number of charges and uses? No? Well, that's wonderful.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So there's one more hallway, right?
Well, there's
There's
the
the one at the
hallway
end.
that goes to the door. Yep.
Let's try this hallway before we start messing with the portal again, because it will hurt us if it touches us.
As Turja well knows now.
Yes. I was being cautious.
Fair.
I go up to the door and check it for traps, and if I don't find any, I try to pick it.
There's no door. I misspoke. It's an archway that leads into a very large open room.
Then let's go through the archway carefully.
Because you're cautious, you point the bullseye lantern through the room. With Garlo in the lead, Turja at the ready. You see 4 large columns supporting this room. This room has what can only be described as maybe a 40-foot high ceiling. It is at least 80 feet wide, and it has 12 sides. You are coming in the 6 o'clock side.
Not another clock.
There is a combination of stone, inlaid metal, and a floor that looks like it is also possibly some of the thickest glass you've ever seen, below which you see a series of mechanical gears, not moving, just in place. At some locations, you see what appear to be a few more shelves with a variety of scrolls and other sealed items. And you see at the 2 o'clock, the 4 o'clock, the 8 o'clock, excuse me, the 2 o'clock, the 4 o'clock, the 8 o'clock, and the 10 o'clock. Is it 10 o'clock? Yeah, 10 o'clock. You see additional archways with doors in them. At the end, at the section where it would be at 12 o'clock, you see a large altar of some sort and 2 large levers.
We need to press a button and throw a lever. Press right button, throw right lever.
Listen, just tell me what you want me to do, and I'll gladly do it.
We don't know yet.
Nope. I'm holding the lantern. I'm the light.
That's my
Alright.
contribution. Is I will pull the things.
Just to double check for my little map I'm drawing. So it's at 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock are the doors with arches in them, or the arches with doors in them.
That's correct.
12 o'clock is the altar. The 4 pillars holding this place up, are they just kind of in the middle, equal distant, spread around?
Equal distant, not in the equal distant on 4 sides.
Sure.
With it, yeah. So essentially, if they were to align with the parallel axes between 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock, and 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, relatively speaking, each one approximately 4 feet around and all the way up, carved in ornate stone with a variety of metal inlaid within.
And just like as we're going forward, 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, anything going on there?
3 o'clock and 9 o'clock appear to be
Walls.
stone walls. There are shelves on both sides.
Are there any like levers, or besides the 2 at the altar, are there any like levers or buttons or just anything that looks like it can be moved, or any riddles written on the ground anywhere?
Are you searching the whole room?
Yes.
Make an investigation check.
I want to check out the bookshelves where the scrolls were.
Okay.
I see him go there. I'm like, oh my god, again.
Oh my god.
Sergio, you see nothing.
Of course not.
Every one of these scrolls is rolled tightly and sealed with wax, with the Water Clock Guildmasters sealed themselves on it. You don't know what's in them. You'd have to crack them open to find out.
Okay. And do they all appear to be uniform or in size?
There is some variation in size and width, but some of these appear to be very, very old vellum. Some of these appear to be newer paper as well. But
While
they're in no particular order.
while Vale is looting the shelves, I am going to go ahead and take a look at the lever mechanisms and see if I can figure out what they're doing here.
Crossing the glass floor, which, by the way, is crisscrossed with metal and stonework, you notice the columns go through the glass all the way down into more columns below. Looking up, you see more glass above. There are 2 levers, one to each side of the arch of the altar.
But no way to see what they're connected to.
You see them connected to gears, but it's so complex and there's so much you can't see. Even though you can see through parts of the floor, there's still parts you can't see. They obviously work something. Each of the archways has a door, each of which is solid metal.
I assume none of them look pickable.
There are no locking mechanisms on any of
That's
them.
what I figured.
That's what Lucy and Garlo find out. We're just like kicking the door. It's like, looks like it's stuck.
Solid.
Unfortunately, there's too many gears here for me to really say what these levers do.
I think they open one of these, right?
Well, one certainly does, or at least is useful in starting that process. The other probably kills us.
50-50. It's better than the casino was.
I cast Mage Hands, and I say I'm going to try pulling one of the levers. I just can't see what else to do, but I'm going to do it with my Mage Hands.
Okay, so these levers are quite large, made of metal. These are not like mop stick. This is a beast of a lever. You grab a hold of it with Mage Hand and you tug and tug with all the 10 pounds of force it can muster, and nothing happens.
Can anyone else cast Mage Hand and help me?
Yeah, I will. As long as it's not my person touching it.
No, it's not.
I got you, Turja, and I will cast a mage hand to assist.
Okay.
While they are doing that, I am going to investigate each of those doorways.
Okay, so in order to do that in this order, I need to understand something. Which lever are you working on, the left or the right one?
You're right.
Okay, and which door are you starting with, Rafe?
I guess the rightmost.
The rightmost one?
Yeah.
I think
the 2 o'clock or the 4 o'clock?
I would say I would start with the 4 o'clock.
Okay.
I think if we want Vale, Sim, do you guys want to take the other doors? We'll just kind of be nearby, see what the hell happens.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll take
so-
10.
You're going to take the 10 o'clock door, and what are you looking for?
I'm just going to be by there when they pull the lever to see if something happens by this door in particular.
Okay.
Instead of getting away from the scrolls, I'm going to pull out one of the pieces of paper and fold it into a baboon shape and use my animate scroll cantrip to send a baboon over to the door where they want me to stand, and I'll keep looking at the scrolls in front of me.
Which shelf are you in front of? The one at 6 o'clock or 9 o'clock?
Let's say 6 o'clock.
Oh, excuse me, 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock? All right, so you're standing by Rafe.
Sure.
Okay. And where's the baboon?
Whatever door didn't have a person in front of it, and when it gets there, I give it a thumbs up.
Yep.
Thumbs up
So
back.
baboon would be at 2 o'clock.
Yeah,
Sure.
I put it at 2.
Okay. And there is nobody standing at the 8 o'clock door?
I guess that's me.
Okay, Sim it is. All right. All right. So with Luciano and Turja over by the right-hand altar, with both of you working as hard as you can, it eventually starts to give.
Nosebleed.
And it's hard. It is a hard move. And then it clunk, clunk. And you hear some gears turning, and you look down and you actually see some of the large gears like tung, 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 and then stop. And then you hear clack, 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 clack. And the door by Garlo and Rafe open. Garlo, you look down and you see a long hallway. On both sides appear to be various candles of an ever-burning variety, and more crypts. At the end is another long door. Rafe, as the door opens, you see a large, metallic, humanoid object.
Rafe got the fun door.
Standing there in a majorly big alcove.
I would say that Rafe's first instinct would be to move away from the very large
8 feet tall.
metallic object. Yeah,
Okay.
taller than Rafe. That's not possible.
It is like an armored figure with all sorts of ornate iconography in it that then flashes blue. And you see its eyes light up, almost light blue, swirling, almost sentient. And it steps into the room. Roll for initiative, everyone.
Oh my goodness.
This is not good.
Guys, it's just a dumb hallway. Hello, Garlo.
Carlo, maybe you need to get rid of these red dice. They don't like.
I'm gonna switch them up. I'm gonna refresh.
Bloody bait! Whoa! Love it. I love it.
Okay. It begins to move its right arm, and you see a massive long sword in its hand. It is a long sword sized for this creature. On its left arm is built in a very interesting ornate mechanical crossbow. Okay. What did everyone get for initiative? I see it. And hold
Garbage.
on one second. I gotta do my bad getting here. Okay. It is Luciano's move.
Oh.
You haven't realized this has happened yet. Rafe has started to move away.
Did something open? I'm just like yelling out.
Your
trying to figure
door
out-
has not opened. No, wait. You're staring at the lever. You're finally getting
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
sweat coming off your brow.
Did something
You-
happen? I'm just looking around to
Um,
see what might have happened. Like if I can figure out where it is.
I got some
I'm
more
going to go ahead
crits.
and say this is not safe. Not safe. Not safe at all.
And so I will look to Rafe's direction. Do I see him like actively?
You see Rafe moving away quickly and something stepping into the room. Clong.
Oh my god.
Clong.
I'm gonna quickly. I can see Rafe, so I'm gonna just quick cast Bardic Inspiration on Rafe, because he's the one closest to it.
Okay.
So I will quickly shout out encouraging words. Rafe, you can get to safety, buddy. I know it.
All right. Cimarine, what are you doing?
Yeah, okay. Hearing that's all I need to hear. Running in that direction.
Okay.
Pulling out axe.
You're pulling out your axe, okay? So shifting over because you're about 80 feet away from him on the other side. Oh no, wait. Yeah, you're 80 feet away on the other side. So you sprint over, okay? So you make it 30 feet. Are you dashing as
I'll
an
dash.
action?
I'll go ahead and dash.
All right, so you got another 20 feet away from him. All right. Well, and closing because he's running away. Okay. With that, we see Vale. What are you doing?
I was close to Rafe, so I'm close to the creature as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I guess
You
I'll,
see Rafe run away, and you see this large object step into the room, focused on Rafe right now.
Okay, I'll put myself between the Rafe and the creature and attack the creature. Oh,
Okay.
Unsheathing my long sword, shield in hand, and rolling to attack.
You're not going to
Roll
send in the
in.
baboon?
No, he's a non-combatant. 11 to hit, nope.
An 11 does
And-
not hit. Your longsword
Second,
bounces harmlessly off its armor.
21. That's a moon
Does
touch.
not penetrate.
21 doesn't go through.
Does not go through.
Oh, boy.
This thing's made
Oh,
of metal.
boy.
Chunky boy. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. It is now Rafe's turn.
I will
Oh.
continue to build distance. And as I get far enough away, I will turn and cast haste on Vale.
Okay.
Nice.
You cast haste on Vale. All right.
Yeah, let me actually click that box because I know where it is. Done.
All right. I'm going to say you're about 15 feet from Vale because Vale
Yep.
put himself between you and him. Turja, what are you doing?
I pull a spare shirt out of my pack and I use mage hands to grab it. I attempt to put it on top of this thing's head so I can't see.
Okay. I'm going to
Oh,
need
yeah.
you to make a improvised weapon attack.
What do I roll for that?
It would be basically an unarmed attack.
Um,
Do you have inspiration?
She
Oh.
has
You
a
have a
D4
D4.
inspiration.
unarmed strike.
Read.
Hmm.
Yeah,
This
I was
isn't
actually
really an
going to
attack.
cat that is autonomous spell.
What is an autonomous spell?
I don't have to make concentration checks to keep it up.
Which one?
The haste.
Okay. Okay. It's not concentration.
Not?
That,
Nice.
not anymore. Just stays up for Vale now.
14.
Peyron 24, thank you for playing a reroll for Turja. You may reroll that should you wish it.
Oh,
Well, 14 it is. I'm going to make a dexterity check for this thing to see if it's able to get out of the way.
okay.
Your shirt brushes over the head and it manages to duck out from it. It's not saying it's not possible. What I'm saying is it just happened to get out of the way of that one.
All right.
It is raising its longsword and moving on to Vale. Garlo, what are you doing?
I'm gonna start, hearing stuff's happening. I start hustling over towards them as well. I'll dash with an action and then go into a rage as a bonus action. And I don't. Do I get to it from about where I'm at?
No, but you are
Yeah.
15 feet away.
Okay, so I'll get there next round. So, yeah. So that's what I've got so far. Turja has opened the door for chicanery, so be prepared for that. And that's my go.
Okay. It is swinging at Vale with its long sword. Does a 22 hit?
It does not, due to the haste.
Okay.
Go, go.
It then takes its left arm, and you hear a swooshing sound from within, and then it goes as multiple crossbolts spray out of it. I need Turja to make a dexterity saving throw.
Ugh, 10.
Turja, you are hit by 3 crossbolts.
Ugh.
Smooth criminal.
Yeah, unfortunately. And you take 11 points of piercing damage as they raze by you.
Oh dear. About that. Can
Luciano.
he dodge the reaction to have the
Yep.
attack damage?
Ooh.
Oh, yes, you can.
All right. So 5 points damage.
You see Turja, even as she's maintaining the shirt being dangled off a mage hand, do some amazing acrobatics to reduce that damage from 11 down to a 5. So 1 does graze her. Luciano, what are you doing? This thing is now moving on to Vale. Like it's Vale's hasted, but this thing is not slow.
Well, it might be hopefully soon. I'm gonna quickly pull out my kazoo and I'm going to play a very slow melody, just a very slow beat to cast slow in the direction of this monstrosity. It has to succeed on a Wisdom 15.
Does a 17 beat that?
Oh, your choice. Does it?
Yeah. So it does. It does seem to shrug off the slowed effect.
Cool. In that case, I'm gonna go ahead and pass on a bardic inspiration. I'm gonna play another fun song aimed at Garlo because Garlo's up close.
Mm-hmm.
You were up close, right? You ran up to it.
I'll get there.
Oh, okay. Well, I will bardic inspiration him anyway because I see him running towards this monstrosity.
Okay. Okay. Cimarine, what are you doing? And Vale, you're on deck.
Okay.
Okay, so at this point I can get close enough. People are backing away from it besides Tertia and Garlo, right? And I guess Vale. Is there enough room for us all to be around near it?
Oh, absolutely. It's
Okay.
walked into the room.
All right.
And it's pressing on Vale pretty hard. Vale's very fast right now.
I'm going to go ahead and cast Entangle using my limb. So reaching out, I'm going to imagine like vines and stuff are coming out of it as I point to a spot, I'm going to say 10 feet behind it since it's a 20-foot square. I don't want to get our friends caught in it, at least right now. So I'm setting it behind, but so that way it can still touch the creature.
Perfect. So you snap your wrist forward and all sorts of entangling vines shoot forth from out of the clawed wooden arm, and it hits the ground and begins to take root and spreads from right behind it and curls up its limbs. What's the DC on that?
DC is going to be 15.
It appears to have entangled its legs, slowing it down. Now, does that incapacitate it?
Is restrained.
Restrained. Okay.
It can use its action to make a strength check against your spell save DC.
Okay. To take an action?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Don't touch that.
Veil your move. Rafe, you're up next.
Is it possible to try and target the crossbow arm thing specifically, or no?
You can certainly try.
Okay, that's what I'm going to focus my attacks on.
Okay.
Closing in as needed. So I'm up close and personal. 14. No.
You're going to be at disadvantage doing that, by the way. I mean, 14's not going to pop it anyhow.
Okay.
Unless you have some sort of... But a 22 does get through.
No, well, I mean, I got to roll that at disadvantage. Oh, hey, still a 22.
A 22 does get through.
Okay. 4, 9 magical slashing.
9 magical slashing. And what are you trying to do to this crossbow thing?
Stop it from spraying lethal crossbow bolts out at us.
Disable it.
Yeah, disable it.
Make
That's a
a strength check.
Okay. Just normal strength, bro.
Mm-hmm. Unless you have some magical strength thing that I don't know about.
Whoa!
I mean,
A natural 20. Well, in that case,
Delightful.
did you want
as that
athletics
is-
or just strength?
No. You're good. You're good. You rolled a natural 20. Shut up and take it. That's what I'm going to tell you right now. So you roll in, and with all the speed of your haste, you snap your longsword in, and you actually hit what looks to be 2 connecting mechanisms that connect this thing to it. And the crossbow pops off. It is a drum-fed, rapid-firing crossbow. It appears to be something far beyond anything you've ever seen. However, it also appears to have been built to be held by a normal person. This one was integrated into this suit. It pops down, ba-dunk, ka-dunk, ka-dunk, dunk, hits the ground, and you see it look at its arm, confused, and then you see its fist begin to go. It's like it's charging up.
Okay. So let's see. I've got the haste action left here. I am going to disengage
Okay.
as the haste action and move backwards out of the imminent power-up zone
Okay.
and stop next to Rafe.
Okay. So you move back approximately 10 feet. Rafe, what are you doing? Turja, you're up next.
Okay.
As Vale has joined me here, I am going to take a moment and well, I'm actually not even sure that's worth my time in this fight. Instead, I am going to try and hit this machine with chill touch.
Okay.
So I'm going to gather the purple green energy and holding on to that laughing skull as I turn and hurl it towards this thing. There's an 18 hit.
It hits, but it
Bear
doesn't
in
seem to
mind,
do
metal does
anything,
not do well when it's chilled.
Except it's
it's
not
actually-
actually cold.
It's necrotic damage.
Oh,
I
darn.
know.
It hits the armor, and the armor flashes. Like you see some of the icons flash on it. But if anything happened, you can't tell what it is.
Okay.
Turja, it's your move. Garlo, you're up next.
Okay, so I actually move Mage Hand with my bonus action. So I don't suppose it'd be possible to hit him with my crossbow with my main action and use Mage Hand to try and blind him with my bonus action?
It
Do I
is
have to take
absolutely
one?
possible.
Oh, well then I pull out my crossbow and I try and shoot at him.
All right.
19.
19 bounces off the armor.
Ooh, and then I use my bonus action to try and blind him with putting the shirt over his head again.
All right, do your best. Here comes that unarmed attack. Improvised. Here we go. 19. It still brushes over the armor. You are getting closer to actually
I
blinding
want to
it.
use my 1d4.
Use it.
22?
22 is exactly what you needed to get the shirt to drape across. So it drapes across the helmet. It is now temporarily blinded.
It's,
I say, Luciano, cast that glowy spell.
And at that point, it takes a legendary action and immediately swipes at where it remembered Rafe was with its pneumatic punching arm. It is restrained, however, so it is at disadvantage, correct? Can it make any attacks under restrained?
It has disadvantage.
I
It
think
does
it's just-
disadvantage.
I thought so. Okay. So at disadvantage.
This is the arm that had the crossbow.
Yeah. 8. Well, unfortunately, 8 plus 5 is 13.
Which
Does
hits
that hit you?
because I don't have mage armor up.
Okay. In that case, you take 7 points of bludgeoning damage as the pneumatic piston fist slams down.
I'm going to use my interception technique, and as a reaction, try to reduce the damage by swatting away some of it with the shield. So that is 13 less damage you would take from the attack.
Okay.
God,
Okay.
That's a good fighting style.
Here's the part that I didn't get to say, but because you stepped in, Vale, you get to find out. I need you to make a athletics check or get knocked prone from the power of this fist.
Okay, even with 0 damage? Bring it,
Not
big
about
guy.
the damage, it's about the deflection.
11.
Oh,
11. Okay. Unfortunately, you get knocked prone. 13 was the magic number we were looking for. So you blocked the damage, and you did it in such a way that you didn't get injured either, but in doing so, you got swatted.
Okay.
Garlo, you're up. You're seeing the other hand after he does that begin to come up, and you see it start to go, and then you see the sword hold in place, and then the arm wrist just starts spinning
Okay, I know what
as
I'm
the
gonna do.
blade begins to go around and around and around.
okay.
What
That
are you
makes
doing,
this a
Garlo?
lot more dangerous, but this is the idea I had. So I am going to, as I run, I'm going to go ahead of Rafe and Vale and break towards the side, towards the right, going around this creature.
Mhm.
As I do, I am clicking some metal on the ground to get it to look towards me with that spinning blade arm. And
It cannot
what I
see
w-
you because it has a shirt over its head.
No, but that's why I'm
So it's-
clicking on the ground. I'm making
Mhm.
noise. to,
Oh
like,
yeah, it's paying attention. Like you see
Yep.
the shirt turning towards you.
Yep. And so what I'd like to do then is the thing I was making noise with was the immovable rod. And what
Mhm.
I'd like to do is hold my reaction to when this thing swings at me to basically click the rod on the arm so it basically stops it in place.
So when you say stop it in place, you mean stop the strike from striking home or stop the arm from ever moving again?
Basically, I want to lock the arm towards the ground because I imagine it has to swing down at me, so it's going to be essentially pinched.
That's going to be an extremely challenging move in this instance.
I'm
Maybe.
going to do what I'd like to say is that this is obviously a reckless move,
Very.
so
Okay.
I will do it
Okay.
recklessly. Recklessly, I wait.
Okay. So that's your hold action. So you are in melee range now. You are like in close proximity of it, and you're just dodging whatever it's throwing until you can get that strike in. Okay.
Yep.
Duly noted. It now takes its regular actions. It's going to take a couple swings. First of all, as the shirt's on its face, you can see the blue lights through the cloth of the shirt where its eyes would be. It reaches up to grab at the shirt and try to pull it out of its way. However, metal on metal is not known for its ease of grabbing things.
Does it have
what
a
is this-
hand? I'm just
what-
confused. It has a hand
Yeah, it has
where the
hands.
crossbow was.
No, it has a hand on the crossbow was up here on the
Okay,
forearm.
I
It
thought
just basically
I
turned
thought it was a crossbow arm. That's how. And then when you kept, I'm like, how is he?
Yeah,
No,
I thought
no.
his hand had fallen off too, actually.
No. The crossbow was bolted onto the forearm.
Gotcha.
When it popped out, the handle and stock and front grip of this crossbow actually popped out of the arm. So this,
Gotcha.
whatever this crossbow is, it's pretty damned exciting. But right now, it's on the ground. fist or the spinning sword arm is spinning wildly, so it's going to fire. It's going to do everything at disadvantage. It was unable to pull the cloth from its face for one of its actions. It's now going to take another action and attempt to randomly attack either Garlo or Rafe. We're going to find out which one it is in a sec. It is Garlo. Thankfully that noise worked in your advantage, but it is attacking with disadvantage, and since I just rolled a 1, we know that it's going to be a 6. So that's not enough to hit.
Okay. So then does that enough to trigger my plant?
Well, this is where you're going to have to make a athletics check. And it's going to have to make a counter strength check or a athletics check to avoid it, because I don't think the fist with a spinning sword is going to come down low enough for you to lock it in place. So what I want you to do is I want you to exceed the roll I'm about to have on a D20 by 10, and you lock it in place. Anything lower and you just stop the attack from hitting you, which you did. All right, so go ahead and roll.
Oh, are you giving me the DC first?
The DC is 12.
All right.
Don't forget you have
Advantage 'cause
inspiration.
I have advantage and I'm inspired. 16's not going to do it. Let's go for that advantage.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What gave him inspiration?
I
It's
did.
bardic
Well,
inspiration. That's not a reroll.
I'm
No, he had
I'm
advantage.
raging.
It's advantage.
It's an athletics check.
Oh, yeah. All right.
26.
A 26 locks it in place. However, the way the rod is shaped and the way this arm is shaped, it's not going to hold it forever, but you do have it in place for now. Okay? And you see it go, and the sword stops spinning as it smacks into this thing. And it like tries to jerk away, and it seems to be held fast. It's very confused, and it cannot see still. It is now Luciano's move. Cimarine, you're on deck.
All right, I am going to when I see the sword start spinning, I'm going to play like a carnival, like. And I'm casting Unruly Item on its sword. So while its arm is locked down and it's trying to get free, now the sword is also fighting against. Well, if he fails the save, it's a Dex 15.
And he's at disadvantage because he's restrained.
I couldn't tell you. You're
For a spell.
Dex, I would say yes. So hold on a second.
I will say what he rolls
17 is what he
important.
rolled.
Yeah, he passes.
Okay.
He rolled a
That's a-
17 at disadvantage?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Interesting. And with that, I'm gonna run up to because Vale is prone, right? He's out.
I'm hasted
He's
though.
just-
So.
Yeah.
He's just
I
knocked
mean,
on his back.
yeah,
Okay, cool.
He'll buff it out. He'll be all
Well,
right.
since I'm passing out inspiration, because I saw what he did, I'm like, that dude deserves it. So I'm gonna sing or play one more praise for Vale, just to, and just like, charge, let's go.
Okay. Cimarine, you're up. Vale, you're on deck. What are you doing, Sam?
All right, so we'll see if this actually works out at all. It might just be a little too crazy. So what I would like to do with my movement, close that distance, because it's only like 20 feet, if I remember correctly
Mhm.
at this point.
Mhm.
And then as I get close, slide on my knees, and instead of using my axe, I want to use my Dreadful Strike, because it's acid damage, and I'm thinking my acid will actually, or at least the corrosive material, might be better. And what I want to do is take a leg out, or at least start working on a joint of a leg. Since it's leaning forward, that maybe will actually tip it over.
So you're going to slide right on by as you go?
Yeah. Well, I like slide, and I don't want to be like icing out of the way, but just being down low on
So
my
you
knees
get
while I do this attack.
2 attacks now, don't you?
Oh, snap, do I? I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Being level
5th
5
level.
is crazy.
Welcome, Ranger.
Hi.
Yo.
Yes, hello. Thank you. Yep, I sure do. Cool. So, yeah, we'll
Are
go
you a
ahead.
dual weapon fighter, though?
I'm not a dual weapon fighter.
Okay.
But
All
our
right. So
hand
make
is
your
a
2
weapon.
So
attacks.
I could just go ahead and do my primal savagery the one
Yeah.
time.
So
Cantrip.
the entangled vines snap and take on a life of their own as they're implanted into the cobblestone floor, or the stone floor, and you slide through. You make a 17, which does not hit.
I guess it breaks concentration, so entangles now down, right?
Remember that all attacks against this guy.
Don't you get advantage
right
against
now.
restrained?
Yeah.
No, they get
blinded and
disadvantage. They
restrained.
get disadvantage.
And so I attack rolls get advantage. They get disadvantage. They have disadvantage on dexterity, and they can't move.
And it's
Which
blinded, so I'm going to
is-
give you advantage on this. Go for it.
Blinded
Because
or
it's
restrained
my-
would give her advantage on this.
And she's got both, so she gets advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't fighting it. Don't argue with the DM when he's giving you favor.
23.
It's not a favor. It's in the
A
rules.
23 hits. So
Alright.
which knee is it you're working on, the left or the right?
The part of the shoot. Right, whichever one's it's already leaning forward on because of the punch down.
Okay. Okay. That would be its left knee.
Yes.
All right.
For 6 damage. I can also add my Dreadful Strike to that for 1d4 psychic damage
Okay.
for an additional 4 total
Nice.
of 10 damage.
Okay. The acid is dripping off of the knee. Are you going for your second strike from behind?
Yeah, absolutely.
So as you slide through, you scrape by, and then you turn around and jam from behind again in the knee. Go for it.
Yes. And at this point too, again, I'm not sure how cantrips work. I can't use a cantrip twice in a turn, right? So I can use my
That is
axe.
correct. You cannot.
So this back half is just going to be first attack with the swiping of the left hand, then following it up with the axe right behind
Okay.
it. Scrolling. Or 23.
23, another hit. Roll for damage.
But you might be able to crit on that.
It's true, I might be able to crit, but I also just rolled damage. For
Just
5
hit that
damage.
advantage button on the
Just
hand
in
axe
case.
real quick. Yeah. Thank you, Shard Tabletop, for making it
Oh,
easy.
so close.
23 is still good.
Yes.
Okay, so you did how many points? 5 more points of slashing damage?
5 on top, yeah.
Okay. Wow, this thing is starting to hurt a little bit. All right. And it obviously reacts to this hit. With that, Vale, what are you doing? Rafe, you're on deck.
Vale needs to deal with his prone condition, so I'm going to use the haste action to dash. That'll set my movement at 140 for the turn, and then I will use half of that to go from prone to standing. So I have a move of 70 left. How far is this thing away from the side of the wall? Like, not that
It's
far?
not near the side of the wall at all. It's
moved
actually
into the
fighting
room
you
now?
between two columns, where you guys you're fighting left and right.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try and do like a little cool maneuver and like run up the column a little bit and then jumping down while hacking at its arm with the longsword. So
Okay. And
Attacking
you
with-
also get 2 attacks now too, don't you?
correct, and I'm at advantage because it's still restrained.
And
blinded.
blinded.
That didn't help. Second attack.
Oh,
Yeah.
So your
Terrible dice
sword
today.
bounces off the armor. I
Wait,
mean, you did some
so-
hellacious strikes on it, but
Sorry, Bardic Inspiration. Can I add that to an attack roll?
1d8. Yeah.
yes, you can.
Oh,
You got a 1d8 inspiration now?
Yeah. 5th level, 1d8.
Okay.
he's so inspiring, our boss.
So
Music's
24 to
getting
hit.
24 hits.
yay!
All right. So a little magical slashing. Only 6 magical slashing.
good. 6 more than we had.
Okay.
And then if I have any movement left, I make sure that I'm next to one of the other group members that is near it.
You are easily standing in front of Rafe once again.
Okay.
And at that point, it attempts to punch you with its hydraulic punch capability. Does a... Wait, disadvantage?
Yep.
Nope. Does a 10 hit you?
Negative.
All right, you were very lucky this time.
Rolling 17 on all mine. 10 on hitting you.
Hey, man,
Don't be bitter.
the
Lucy.
dice giveth and the dice taketh away. It didn't seem to have a problem swatting him last time. So, Rafe, it's your move. Turja, you're on deck.
Yep.
Let's see. I've got a slightly injured Garlo, a somewhat less slightly injured Luciano, a completely uninjured Vale. Honestly, the best choice in this scenario is probably healing Luciano. Luciano, are you close to this thing?
I'm wherever the lever. I've not moved.
Okay, so Luciano hasn't moved, so he's relatively safe here. Then I'm going to step forward and heal Garlo, and then run away.
Okay.
So
You
let's
touch
see.
Garlo.
Casting at first level, because I know that Garlo isn't all that injured for Garlo.
It's true.
Cure wounds for 6 points of healing.
6 points of healing.
All right.
And I am bravely ducking back behind Vale.
Bravely.
Stay close.
Bravely.
Bravely.
All right. Turja, your turn. Garlo, you're on deck. Here we go.
I take a shot at this thing with my crossbow.
Okay. Take your shot.
24 to hit, and that's
24
actually
hits.
well. Let's do advantage to see if I manage to get a crit.
Okay.
Nope, 24 to
you
hit.
do not. All right.
11 points piercing.
Okay.
Nice. Bolt.
It did not seem to penetrate as well as you'd think it should.
It's metal. I actually don't think it should penetrate well at all.
Yeah. At that point, Garlo, what are you doing? Oh wait, do you only get one attack though, right? And you also were attacking something within melee damage. You get sneak attack damage, Turja.
Ooh, I forgot.
You guys are forgetting all your goodies today.
I know, it's awful. 3
We're not used to having all these options.
Yeah.
We're not used to winning so much.
Holy, an extra 16 points of damage.
That's the
Okay.
dream right there. Holy smokes.
27 total.
All right. And at that, the thing appears to be shaking itself free from this rod, but it is not free yet. Garlo, what are you doing?
All right. Seeing that is running out on it, the time on that one, so I'm going to then I have it clicked there and I have my hand on it and I just pull my glaive from behind and I rear up and I'm basically going to because the hand is pinned down, I'm basically going to hack the fingers. I'm going to hit the hand, but in
Okay.
an attempt
You
to
hit the hand.
basically break some fingers so it can't hold it so well. And it's still restrained, so I don't have to go reckless on this one. That's 15, but we'll take the advantage. 19. I'll use. No, I'll hold on to my bardic. But I do have a second attack, so I'll swing a second. One more time. Come on.
Hacking it.
Hey, that's good.
Hey.
Yeah. 43.
First one he gets a notch in. Second one he hits home.
All right.
Roll
You did
damage.
it.
Maybe you'll get a crit.
Maybe I'll get a crit. Nope, I have a crit.
Nope.
But we do with the glaive that's so shiny and nice. That is 7 slashing plus 2 rage bonus.
You're starting to see
And-
the armor start to shift and groan as it's starting to separate in places. It does not break the fingers.
With that, then I just I do like a little back away and brace myself. I don't get out of melee, but I just like have the glaive pointed out, and I'm just kind of ready for the next volley.
Okay.
Um,
Luciano, you'll be up after this. So the magical runes on its armor begin to wink and bright and flash brightly. It attempts once more to shake off the shirt, and does so unsuccessfully.
Yes.
It starts flailing about wildly. It does free its second arm with the sword. It does so at a difficult angle, nonetheless. But it's now going to strike wildly at Vale once more. I roll at disadvantage, and I just rolled a 1. And then with its other attack, it's going to attempt to punch Sim. at disadvantage, and I just rolled another 1. So you guys are the luckiest people on the planet, as the giant killer hydromatic robot is not able to pound you into hamburger. Which, I forget, hold the phone, this DM has advantage for one of its creatures, thanks to Peron24. I'm going to use that bad boy for this second attack against Sim.
Oh.
And I rolled a 4, which makes it a 9, which means you miss. So much for my advantage. Peron, I'm sorry it did not create the damage it needed. Please give me more. Give me more. Give
No,
me more
Baron,
power. Thunderous strikes of armored fists slamming into the stone floor. As it begins to reassert itself, it snaps free of the entanglement. Luciano, what are you doing? Cimarine, you're on deck.
I will cast Fairy Fire in its direction with a little. Took me a second. Like it's supposed to be like a very as
Fairy-esque sound.
fairy-esque as a kazoo
Yeah.
can sound, like a very ethereal kind of kazoo noise.
Okay.
So I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire, kind of placed behind because it's a 20-foot cube. So similar to Cimarine, I'm gonna try to cast it past it on the have it on the periphery of
What's the thing it needs to do?
Dex 15.
It fails.
All right.
It now
is
glows
lit
with an
up.
eerie fairy light around its silhouette.
Yep. Objects shed dim light, 10-foot radius. And lastly, who was the one? I think it was Garlo was hit, right?
I look fine.
Okay, cool. Then I'll just be like, all right, guys, I leave it to you. You can do it. And I'm just cheerleading in the back.
Okay.
Just playing battle music now. Just setting the mood. I pass.
Cimarine, your move. Vale, you're up next.
Roger.
I think my plan is brilliant, and it can't really move anywhere if it's only one leg. So I'm gonna stay where I am, and I'm going to repeat this action. First, we're gonna do the acid damage. We're gonna do my claw, and again, the more I use my claw, particularly like in repeat, just the gnarlier, scarier it gets. Especially with
blacker at the ends, the way it drips.
It's gross. It's not very cute. But we're going to strike it again, same leg.
So are you sliding through again the same way you did last time, but instead of front to back, you're going back to front?
I stopped like at its feet
Huh.
last time, so I didn't move. I'm so.
You're actually slightly behind it.
Fair enough.
You hit it with the axe, yeah.
Yes. So,
Got it.
still in that same placement. Still cool.
Okay. Go for it.
16. It has advantage, right, because of the fairy
Yep.
fire
Any
Mhm.
attack roll.
Well, fairy fire and blinded.
and blinded.
19 does not hit.
I'm still gonna try and hit it with my axe
Okay.
as my bonus attack. Still with advantage.
Come on.
Not gonna happen. With my
So you-
movement, I know I'm on like basically prone. I'm just gonna boot scoot boogie.
So you scrape at it with your claw, and then you hack at it once more, and then you adjust your position to where you feel you can get out of the range if it kicks you
Yes,
or attempts to backhand you.
absolutely.
Because it is a big object, and you've seen it already knock Vale down.
It hurts.
Vale, you're up. Rafe, you're next.
I'm doing 3 attacks with the longsword, one of them from haste.
Okay.
And I've got advantage.
Vale strikes. You see him turn into this blurring mass as his blade begins to.
Still a 22 to hit. Is
Yep.
needed.
Got a lightsaber.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second attack.
Clang.
Yes.
The
It's-
second one strikes through into some space between the armored plates.
Try and get a crit.
That's what I'm trying. Yeah. All right. So a little bit of damage here as it lands 11 slashing, and then the final attack.
Okay.
Clang on through.
Woohoo!
3. Yeah. So a
Only
little
3
bit more
hits?
damage. 5 more slashing as I try and find
Okay.
a weak spot in armor.
You hear the groan within the metal, and what can only be explained is the equivalent of pain in this thing. And some of the magic runes within it wink out. Some glow brighter. Its eyes turn from darker. It was already a pretty bright blue to an even brighter blue as it appears to be getting frantic. It tears away at whatever it can to get itself to where it can see, and makes an immediate pneumatic punch at disadvantage against Vale. Hold on a second. Does a 19 hit you?
It does not with the haste and plate armor.
Okay. And with that, it is Rafe's move. Turja, you're up after that.
Yep.
At this point, having seen the runes on the body lit up a couple of times, I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to go ahead and try and hit it with Chill Touch again. See if it is any different. What's a 22 do?
22 hits.
Yay.
Just to make sure.
Mhm.
And 12 necrotic damage this time.
The armor's been opened up enough that you're starting to see some blue swirling light from within. Your Chill Touch gets in between those points. How do you want to do this?
Oh, yeah!
I
Consumed by the laughing skull.
You see the bright blue lights as the skull slams into it. Immediately wink out and start to turn black. And in a few short moments, the collapsing armor drops forward. Everybody gets out of the way just fine. Water pours out from within, covering the floor once more. And with that, the party takes a sigh of relief as the room falls silent. 2 doors open, and we'll pick up next week here on Whiskey, Magic, and Distraction on the Games Tavern next week, Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, to find out what happens next as the party attempts to figure out what to do next. And let's do our closeout announcements, and then, do a nice raid.
Well, everybody, don't forget to subscribe to the Games Tavern YouTube channel right now. Subscribing is free, and that way you don't miss any of the action, and you also get access to additional content, like the backstory for why the heck we are in this tomb right now fighting giant robots. Remember, your likes and positive comments on the videos help other adventurers find out about the show, so please head over and like and subscribe as soon as you can. Brandon?
If you liked our stuff tonight, be sure to check out the other shows we have here at the Games Tavern. On Saturdays, you can check out Q-Crawl, 3 p.m. Eastern. We have First Knights, our Star Wars TTRPG. Our newly minted Jedi Knights finish customizing their lightsabers and investigate the Senate's Charter Bureau. They begin unraveling threads of corruption that have generated so much of the conflict in new colonies. And on Wednesday, you can explore the world of Eberron with Dirty Deeds at 7 p.m. Eastern. As the crew prepare to enter the Mournlands once more, they have fought off 2 assassins who are after Tyrion and his daughter. A row has returned to the party, but something about her patron seems to be troubling her.
Wow, that's a lot. There's a lot going on here at the Games Tavern. Make sure you check it out. And you never know when you come check us out when we're running a mystery dice giveaway. That's right. Today we hit 25. We were doing pretty good today. And so we did a giveaway of a mystery dice set from 1985 games. Today's winner was Jan Zam. Congratulations. Make sure you stick around.
Jan Zam, get his dice.
Yep, our tech goblins will be reaching out to you to make sure we can get your information and get you your awesome prize.
Jan Zam, you rock. Good luck.
There we go.
And of course, a huge thank you to Shard Tabletop, helping to make all of this possible, especially Rafe never actually killing anything. As you can see, it makes the game so easy, and also makes it a lot of fun. Less thinking about what you need to do and more just getting into the game. You can check the link in chat and use the code TGT Shard 20 and get a 20% discount on your subscriptions. Check them out today.
Any other ones? None? All right. Well, thank you to all of you. We heart you all. We really appreciate that you were watching. You guys are the reason we do all this. If for no other reason, the chat is what gives us the energy that makes this even more fun for everyone. So thank you all for your contributions as well, and especially for those who helped the DM. However, I'm sure the players have some things they'd love to say as well in terms of thanking everybody. Really, you guys make it all worth it. So we will see you here next week on the Games Tavern on Whiskey, Magic, and Destruction. See you next week, everybody.